Good afternoon, lads. Sorry I was a whole minute late. I was on late time, as Drake says in the chat there. What's going on, lads? Mark, welcome to Unique. I feel like Mark been in Unique for a while, but maybe you just became Unique again. But Mark, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, mate. Bonesy, what's going on? Simon, Alex, Jay Fraz, what's going on, pup? Jonathan, can't wait for the stream. Yeah, I can't wait as well, mate. It's been a month roughly. Obviously, we do this every month. And yeah, no, I'm buzzing for it, to be fair. I kind of missed, like, once I've done these, I'm happy, as in, like, the gallery reviews, in that, like, they're done for a month. But when I'm doing them, I honestly enjoy them more than doing the lineup building in a weird way. Don't know why. Coffee at the ready. So I had my coffee really early out, like, stupidly early. And now I'm, like, yeah, just having that. Yeah, that early afternoon slump, if I'm being honest. I woke up at like 6 a.m. No, even earlier. I was messaging Sam Tai on Discord at... I'll tell you exactly when. It was early. Like, really early. 5:20 I was up. Don't ask me why. I just didn't want to sleep, or slash I was just felt fine. And then... yeah, started building my lineups at like, not rebuilding or whatever, deciding where I'm going to put everything at like 6 a.m. And then, yeah, just felt incredibly tired then for like an hour or so. And now I'm still pretty tired, but I'm fine. I do have a caffeine vitamin-y drink situation that you obviously just put into water. But, yeah, no coffee. Well, I've had a coffee, but yeah, not again. Dave Richards, what's going on, mate? Jonathan, with the amount of requests, get ready for a long stream. You know what? I don't even know how many we've actually got. Let me have a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28. We've got 28. I mean, it's not a crazy amount. We do more lineup buildings than that. Like, we normally do like 35, 36, 37 lineup builds. So, yeah. No, it should be fun. I'm buzzing for it. Nice short stream, Charlie says. No, mate, this will be a hefty one. Question is, what flavor monster? I mean, this one's a bit obvious, isn't it? I mean, maybe it's not, but it's probably out of one of two, right? It's either peach or orange. And it is peach, for those that care. But no, I haven't had a monster in a while, to be honest. I'm trying to cut down on them. Like, back home, I was, like, not addicted, but I just really loved sugar-free Red Bulls. And yeah, I don't think I've had one Red Bull since coming here. Literally not one. But I have had, obviously, a few monsters, as you know. Me SSV, what's going on, mate? Glenn? Tobias? Buck, what's going on? In work, Harry, so may not be able to catch the whole stream, but cheers again. No worries at all, mate. No worries at all. Hope work is good for you. Or fine for you. I think I found a little glitch in the Sorare matrix, lad. So I was told by Sorare, well, not specifically somebody from Sorare, but just on the game, that I would be in Division 2 for this upcoming weekend, right? For this midweek. And I'm not. I'm still in Division 1. So have a look at this. So, Challenger. My classic team. So, Team A. It says relegated, yeah? Can we all just be witness to that? And then if we go to live and we go to Challenger, my Division 1. Well, my team is still in Division 1. Team A. So, I will need some explanation from somebody. Or I just won't say anything. But yeah, energy drinks are just really bad. Yummy but bad, but they definitely don't bring me energy. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Tobias, actually. They probably are a net negative overall. I have never tasted energy drinks, Jonathan. Wow. I drink the occasional Celsius. The fizz-free peach and mango is decent. Try to stay away from Red Bull Monster if I can, but everyone in the office smashes them. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I never have the sugar, like, not that it really makes me any better, but, like, I never really have, like, the sugary Monsters or, like, the sugar Red Bulls. There's always sugar-free, but there's always shit in there, isn't there, that, are just sort of acting as substitute to sugar, and, yeah, subsequently, probably still not good for you. I think it switches at rewards. Interesting. Yeah, Jonathan and Tobias say the same thing. Wow. Good point. Yeah, I didn't think of that, but that could be the case, right? So I'm just messaging Led. Sorry, lads, I was just messaging old lady boy. Okay. Yeah, I think it switches after awards. Interesting. Okay. Come on in, lads. We have got a very exciting stream today. And first up is no other than a account that we're going to call Doty. Or Doty. Big Chelsea fan, I'm going to assume. And Doty wants to be competitive in Classic Champ in the winter and Challenger in the summer. Trying to figure out next steps of my gallery, i.e. do I downsize, upsize, or move entirely to Champ? Interesting stuff. Okay, let's have a little look of what's going on over here then. So, let's go filter. Let's have a look at what we've got in Challengers first. So we've got a little LA Galaxy stack. Evander's in there as well. Brugman. So we've got a nice little in-season contingency. Yamane, Brugman. Okay. We've got Benteke. Okay, we've got the rest of the LA boys down here. Brooks Lennon. So a couple of nice out-of-season cards as well. We've got Steve Clark, Andre Blake, Giacomakis, Kai Wagner. Wow, yeah. And Pinto. Wow. I mean, if you're looking to compete in the summer, Doty, I can't imagine you're miles off it there. Let me have a look at what you've been getting up to as far as scores go. Yeah, I think Sean was talking about this yesterday. Just like in challenges, but like in MLS in general. Like the scores in defense are just not that good. I know this player isn't a defender from the MLS, of course, but you know, you get my point. Like defenders outside of like Buscagli and Teze and whoever PSG are playing, or play for PSG, sorry, like it is just hard to get big defender scores in Challenger, especially in the summer. Okay, so we have Champ Classic, we have Challenger Classic, 305 again. Just, I mean, I know Benteke's let it down as well there, but Brugman, nice score, Vander, nice score. And then we've got some limited, and we've got Academy. Okay. I mean, from what I'm seeing there, you've got quality, Doty. Like, there's no sort of kid in there, is there? There's some big cards here, right? Puig, Evander, you know, I'm not going to call Brooks Lennon a big card, but he's fine. Benteke, Almada, obviously, Painstill, some really good cards. The only thing you have Wagner, who's obviously really good, but yeah, Philly were not playing this weekend. But why is Dybala coming up there? Or maybe because I don't have a filter on. Yeah, so I mean, you look pretty set. It's just one of those, for summer in that sense. I think you have good enough cards to compete over the summer quite comfortably, in the MLS and stuff. So I wouldn't get rid of those, to be honest, because they could be a nice little earn a few in some way. And then this is the champion side of your gallery. So we've got Shagla, Palacios, Dybala, Grimaldo, Herdecki. I mean, really good cards. Like, as far as how condensed you are, my obvious thing is, you're going to need to have more cards than this. Injuries, etc., etc. I know you that's not, not groundbreaking statement, but you have a really nice core there. Like, I would definitely try and continue along that line. Is it a case of holding out and waiting for new in-season cards, champ-wise, in August, maybe? Like, do you want to play 2 classic champ cards in August? Are you going to get FOMO because there's in-season? None of us know how that's going to all look, but, you've got a really nice 5 there. Maybe add 2 or 3 more for depth, and then that is your, like, classic team for champ going into next season. But if you are, if you do have quite a bit of money ready to put into this game for a champ classic team, potentially wait. Not that you've told me that, but, potentially wait for in season. Maybe that'll give you, a better like visual return on your investment in that. Or, I shouldn't even say investment, but you know what I mean, like return on your money, whatever. Than maybe the classic would be, because everything in August is classic, right? You know what I mean? So you definitely have to think about that. Just catching up on the chat, lad. Sorry, very ready for that. Thanks for the heads up on Hadel. Got emergency Pavlovich, nice. João Neto, what's going on, mate? Beautiful name, by the way. Bonesy, no problem, mate. Yeah. Yamane, Wagner, Lennon, and Escobar is a solid defense core in the MLS. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Tobias. That, it's as good as it gets. But what I'm saying is there's just not that many of them, And if they all don't pop on one weekend, then, I guess nobody has a good defender score, really. So you're in the same boat as everyone else, effectively. But yeah, and then the thing is, you're saying here, do you move entirely into champ? I mean, I probably wouldn't. It all depends on you. Like, it's so hard for me to just sit here and go, yeah, you should just move all into champ. Because ultimately, I don't know how much you love champ. I don't know if you support a team in the champ region. Like, I don't know, right? I don't know how much you love the MLS and, whatever, right? But for me, I enjoy the game most when I have teams in different regions as a blanket statement. And I think you have teams in different regions and you have quality in different regions. I would probably keep it that way, personally, instead of condensing it all into one region right now. Because, the earning potential potentially over the summer could be quite fruitful for you with the cards you have. And so I wouldn't really, change direction on that, really. I would just add to what you've got champ-wise, 2 or 3 buffer players that can come in and do a job whilst, someone's suspended, injured, whatever, rotated out. I know we're at the end of the season now, so it might not be that necessary. But yeah, if you want to play more champ, then maybe look into potentially going into new season next year. That would be my, the easiest thing for me to say. Where's the senior night special? It was up this weekend, right? Yeah, maybe they haven't added it. Yeah, maybe it comes in after rewards, Tobias. I'm not sure. Yeah. So Doty, if that makes sense, let me know. If it doesn't, then of course let me know as well. Any more questions? Obviously, let me know in the Discord. But yeah, I do like what you've got going on. I'm just gonna have a look at All Star as a whole. See if there's anyone else that I'm missing, but I don't think I am. No. So it's basically those 2 teams, and then some nice limiteds as well. The Hiroshima stack, that's nice. Obviously LA stacked as well. Yeah, I would definitely, not I wouldn't bother buying any limiteds, but I would just continue to try and churn limiteds while you can, and then keep adding to the depth and the quality you already have at champ level. That would definitely be my sort of 2 cents on how I would play it, mate. So yeah, hope you're happy with that, mate. And let me know any questions in the Discord/chat if you're here. If you're not here, that's fine. Okay, Tom Snow. So Tom wants to grow the gallery via MLS over the summer before starting to pick up Premier League cards to start off the season. Ideally, I'd like to move into rare at some point, but don't know how when. Basically, what should my focus on progression look like? Should I focus on having a big limited collection or start to get into budget rare cards? Good question. I like what you want to do in that sense, the whole, play over the MLS, play over the summer and stuff, and then sort of gradually go into Prem cards. Look, under this new Sorare that we have, progression is like non-existent compared to before, right? Now, let me try and explain that. So basically, before the progression was, okay, I play limiteds. Well, there's a really good ROI in 240. Let me just go buy 5 shitters and play 240. That was progression. 240 rare, that is. And that was doable. But under this new regime, under this new Sorare system, it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like, there isn't going to be a 240 to move into. I know there is right now, but there's not in 2, 3, 4 months, whatever. So that's not, a long-term good strategy, in my opinion. And so I'm not saying nobody can move from limited to rare. You just need a good amount of money. in that sense. Like, you just do. This game requires, you know, money to kind of, you know, move up the ladder. And I'm not saying it's not possible. I need to know figures in that, like how much you are willing to put in. But I would never tell somebody to put more money in than they can. But if I'm looking at a £224 gallery, I don't think they're thinking about rare. Like, I wouldn't be thinking about rares at all in that sense. Like, realistically, that's just my opinion. I just don't think it makes sense to compete at rare. Like, competing at rare right now is tough unless you have really good cards. And like what you said there, Tom, you said, was it to like try and get into budget rare cards? Budget rare cards don't cut it anymore. That's just a fact. Budget rare cards right now don't have much value for one reason, because they just don't help you compete. They might right now because of 240, but you know, once that's gone, I struggle to see how those cards really, or like I just struggle in general see the progression between limited and rare, unless you're willing to put in like £1,000, for example. I'm not saying that's a good thing to do in that sense. I'm definitely not. But what I'm saying is it requires a decent amount of money to jump into rares. I don't think I'm not saying you can't gradually do it, because you can play rares in limited, right? I would never tell somebody not to like ever move up to rares. But what I'm saying is just be prepared to, one, like not compete if you're just gonna buy, you know, average cards, and two, if you are gonna want to compete, you are gonna have to put a decent amount of money in compared to what you have right now, if that makes sense. That's kind of how, that's kind of how I'd be looking at it. Dave says need to drop off the school taxi run. No worries at all, mate. No worries at all, mate. Thank you for letting us know. Jonetto. So I'm just catching up on the chat. It seems like there's lots of K-League talk. Okay, nothing crazy in here. Okay. So yeah, that is my advice, Tom, to be honest. I would continue thriving at rare, or, you know, just getting at rare. I would continue, you know, increasing, you know, the quantity and quality of your limited gallery. I really, really would. For when August comes round, you have, you know, 3 teams in each classic comp, or, you know, wherever you're playing right now. I can see obviously you've got lots of MLS, and you want to pick up Prem cards as well. You've got some great MLS cards. Like, continue to churn as much cash and, you know, in-season stuff with the in-season cards, and, you know, obviously with your classic cards, try and win some nice cards with those. You know, you got your Brooks Lennons in there. You got some decent players. So, you know, I definitely, you know, my word of advice is definitely don't run or think you can run before you can walk, because this game has got a lot harder, you know, in many ways, because nobody was prepared for the changes, right? That's why it's got harder in general. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm. That's kind of where I'm at. Tobias says, going into rares takes planning and a budget. The more time you put into scouting, the lower your budget can be, and build in the off-season. Right, yeah, I agree with you, Tobias, but in Tom's case, if he wants to start picking up Prem cards, it's tough to, like, scout Prem cards. You know what I mean? Like, everyone knows the Prem. Whereas if you're scouting, like, Scandinavian leagues and, you know, all that but jazz, you can probably get into rares a bit cheaper, 100%. But it requires, you know, a skill gap. And, you know, everyone knows the Premier League. So to get bargains in the Premier League, the only way you're going to do it is if players are injured, effectively. So, yeah, that's kind of how I'd look at that. Kennedy, what's going on, mate? Kennedy. It's been a long time, my pal. I'm doing well, thank you, mate. I really am. Hope you are as well. Just Mike here. The transition is the best thing that happened to Sora. I agree with you, Mike, in some ways. Yeah, I'm not. My little rant then is definitely not me saying, like, I don't like the transition because it's made it harder, or, you know, whatever. I think it's great, like I do. But yeah, I'm just, you know, my word of advice to this sort of gallery would be, you know, walk before you can sprint/run, you know. Definitely get good at limited before you can even think about getting up to rares, because, yeah, it's just not worth it, I don't think. I really, really don't. Alex says, yeah, there's no hidden gems in such champions. Exactly that, mate. Exactly that. Okay. Let's go to the third in line, which is Dia Egan. I always forget your name, and it pisses me off because you tell me every stream, like your actual name, that is. And it's going to kill me again. It's not Mateus. Oh, I'm going to kill myself. What's going on? Why can't I think of it? I can't think. It's killed me. Anyway. Right. 1, 2, heavy. Why am I in the lineup builder, by the way? Okay. Want to get heavy into contenders, both in season and classic. Get the most enjoyment from that competition. So want to try and have depth and compete in all 6 lineups. Amazing. Maybe even push into a small bit of challenger classic too. What should I do over the summer with the cards I have? Keep, sell, wait for transfers, etc. I have a Jubileo stack that I like. So might invest in a K-League stack to keep it ticking over until August. I mean, it doesn't sound like a bad plan to, have more things going on over the summer, especially K-League wise. We have that new in-season comp that's coming whenever. I think that's pretty soon, isn't it? Is it this weekend it starts? I'm not sure. But I know it starts very, very soon. And so, I mean, yeah, I'll never tell somebody not to play over the summer. Like, I love the summer, not transitional phase. I love the summer period, sorry. Like, I've had quite a bit of success over the years, like, planning for that. And yeah, I would definitely, wouldn't deter somebody from doing that. The only thing I'm, like, conscious about is that, like, you want 6 lineups, right? Well, in August, you could still have 6 lineups, technically, if you've bought in-season K-League cards and J-League cards, you know what I mean? But the rest of these, like, Bruno Goda, great card, by the way. But, like, cards like him are obviously going to be all season, right? So, definitely keep that in mind. Like, don't be in a position where you have, like, I know it sounds stupid, but, like, too many classic teams. Because you can only have 3. Or, too many possible classic teams. Like, say if you have 50 classic players to choose from, you can only line up 15 of them. And again, this is not me saying don't have depth on this game. You definitely do need depth. But quality comes before anything. And so I'd prefer you to have 20 really good classic cards than 50, some are really good, but some are, like, terrible, right? So yeah, let me go to floor low to high, high to low, sorry. See what we've got going on. So this is contenders. Fits in season. Okay, so we've got some really nice in-season cards, but this season is ending very soon. So yeah, try and get as much sort of in-season utility as you can. And then the okay, yes, you have an in-season Jupe. Yeah, that's nice. So those will be used in August in-season, which is nice. I like that. It is this season, Bondy says. Love that. Love that. Mikey says, just how Sorare Prema's got a multiple rewards in the EPL comp. You can definitely over-scout. I hear you, though. It takes time to build and can't rush it. Yeah, 100%. As a fellow Fitz owner, I don't think we should count on him being in Austria next season. Probably not. No, probably not. Yeah, so the Jubilee stack's a good idea because that will be in season, in August. If you're going to buy a K-League stack, then, you're still alive. Hope we're still alive. Let me know, lads. But I did get a message from Streamlabs saying, yeah, that I wasn't alive. But yeah, that would be what I'd be, getting at right now is make sure you have those 3 in-season cards for August. Or, 3 in-season teams. I know you've basically got 1 in the Jubilee team already. K-League team. But yeah, don't try not to be in a position where you have way too many classic cards to where, like, you're just not able to utilize them. Because remember, we're not going to have the cap modes. We're not going to have anything outside of contenders, So just sort of be wary of that. But yeah, I would definitely play over the summer. Why not? I don't see much harm in that. Playing over the summer is really fun, and obviously there's just less things going on, and more chance of hopefully winning rewards if you can get it all going on in a good way. Tobias says we're good. Bonesy said I can't imagine him going. Yeah, maybe Bonesy. Yeah, maybe he could, couldn't he? Okay, I mean, yeah, that's kind of. You said you want to, go into Challenger Classic as well. I'm not opposed to somebody wanting to go into Challenger for sure. Why not? But yeah, mate, I don't really see. I mean, you clearly love contenders, and that's amazing. Like I think it's a really fun comp. And yeah, the more teams you can get out that are competitive, the better, obviously. And yeah, the more success you're probably going to have. So yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know too much about the K-League in that, like, I couldn't be like, this team is the best team. John Booker always seemed to be quite good. Olsan, obviously, a couple of the big names there, but I don't know who is actually top of the league right now. So yeah, I don't know who's smashing it, but I would suggest that team should be an in-season team for you, just because you're going to have too many classic teams in August, basically, is what I'd get at there, mate. So hope that makes sense. And obviously, yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want to Yeah, want me to answer? Yeah, scared about what Cabal will do in the summer as well. Yeah, that's the problem with the contender boys, isn't it? They're always liable to go rogue and go off somewhere that you don't really want them to go off. Okay, next up. Next up is the boy Jonathan. So, not sure what's the next steps in Rare and Limited. Would love an overall look on both. Rare's looking good, in my opinion. Limited is a mess ATM. Should I keep J-League players? Should I sell all the Red Hex guys that are worthless? Really don't know what to do. Goal is to keep building into Rare and strengthening a bit in Limited where I have holes. Plan next season is to buy a Hamburg St. Pauli full collection as I'm moving to Hamburg. Amazing. In August. So keep that in mind. Also, should I support Hamburg or St. Pauli? Not planning to invest more money into men. Just need to say that. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, fair play, mate. I'm buzzing that you are able to make the move over to Europe, mate. That's amazing. To continue your studies, and I know it's something you've really wanted to do for a while, mate. So yeah, no, I'm buzzing for you there. As far as who you should buy, Hamburg or St. Pauli. I mean, it's not a funny story, but I've been to Hamburg once. One of my best friends lived there when we were in high school. He moved over there for like year 8 or like year 7 or year 8, and then came back in year 9. His mum and dad moved over there, whatever. He came back. And yeah, we ended up visiting Hamburg for his 21st birthday, like a few years ago. And I mean, I loved it, but it was mad because that weekend, Hamburg were actually playing St. Pauli. They both were in this, I can't remember if they were both, no, I'm lying. Hamburg played Schalke, and it was like, if Schalke lost or whatever, they got relegated or something. This was obviously 6 years ago now or something, 5 or 6 years ago. And yeah, I don't know where the story's going, but basically I've been to Hamburg, and I mean, all I saw was Hamburg fans fighting. So make of that what you will. I know lots of fans from other teams fight. But yeah, I don't know too much about the history behind both of the clubs. I don't know. But gun to my head, I'm going Hamburg because they like a scrap. Anyway, okay. Back to what matters. So, not sure what the next steps are in Rare and Limited. So, let's go to just what we've got in Rare first. Because I know we have the Nashville boys. I know we have the NEC boys, which is, you've been quietly churning away some nice pickups. Obviously, the Verdonk was a nice one. Got a nice base for next season, I think. Yuri Bass, some nice cards here. El Karouni, nice. Toonstra. Okay. Like, you've just got to taper your expectations, right? With an NEC stack, it isn't going to bang every week, and we all know that. Hoping next season that they can become even better, potentially, and you can add some of the new pieces to that collection, if there is any really good ones. I know that Cherney guy, I don't know whether he'll get cards maybe next season. That'll be great, because he's a really good card, or player. So yeah, obviously, challenges is where you should just keep congregating. I think the fact that you have the MLS merge and the contenders, the Eredivisie merge, and obviously you've got a few Belgium League boys in there as well. But I think that makes a lot of sense. Like, I like the thought of that because they're all in one. There's no contenders to worry about. You're just all worried about challenger, and it just flows quite nicely, and it merges nicely. But yeah, some of these prices of rare cards, man, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? 7 quids and 12 quids, and who would have thought, eh? Who would have thought 3 years ago rare cards would be going for that price? So yeah, I mean, like, I'm not going to sit here and say you need to buy this card for next season. I don't, like you said, your rares does look like they're in a good position. I wouldn't really touch them. I was just going to have a look at how much your rares are worth in comparison to your limited, because you said your limiteds are a bit of a mess. So £550. So your limiteds are worth double, effectively. Are you getting double the fun out of them? Are you getting double the reward / return? I'd be interested to know. And then the next part, limited a mess. Should I keep J-League players? I mean, do you have good the obvious answer is, do you have good J-League players? If you do, then, keep them. If you don't, then obviously get rid of them. But then it's like, well, what are they worth? I mean, I'm seeing nobody here. Reward, interesting. I mean, like, what are the J-League boys there really worth? 50 quid? Let's call it £50. Maybe a bit more, Usami. Yeah. Let's just call it 50, 60 quid. You know, what do you think you could turn that into? You know, in challenges. Right now, you can turn that into a few nice rare cards, realistically, couldn't you? If we're being honest. I know J-League plays over the summer, but it's all depending on what you want to do. You know, are you willing to sacrifice £60 worth of J-League cards for, 2 or 3 rare cards, potentially? That would be where I'd be looking. Did NEC win the cup? No, they lost, Bonesy. Your intent says, yeah, limited are pretty much doubling both. They are fun for now. Yeah, for sure. No, I can definitely see that. But yeah, that would be my... And then the Red X guys, I mean, yeah, there's no point... Not there's no point, but, if you have loads of Red X guys and they're going to come to, like... I don't know how much money they're worth. I don't know whether we can actually see them. Is there a way to, like, see them? I don't think there is there? Realistically. I don't think there is. So, yeah, I mean, there's no point just storing Red X guys for the sake of it, right? If you can get rid of them, if they have a price, then great. Obviously try and ship them off. And yeah, obviously, go into more rares is what the goal is, of course. Yeah, let's go into... How do I get off this, by the way? This is annoying me. You can just click off. There we go. Yeah, where are your main holes, do you think? Is it Champ? Like, I know you have Donnarumma, so you have a few nice goalkeepers. Donnarumma. Sommer. Yeah, you have some really nice goalkeepers in Champ. Van Dijk, Cancelo. Yeah, you're probably... We lacking a couple of nice defenders. I mean, you have some nice ones, but I think having a few more wouldn't go amiss. Midfielders... we're missing a few meta cards, aren't we? Really. Goodmanson could move. Cruz is obviously great. Enzo's hot and cold. McGinn's pretty good. Paqueta probably moves to Man City. There's definitely room for improvements, I would say, in the champ area. You have some good cards, but I definitely think there's room to improve. And that's if anyone's wanting to... Like, if you have a nice champ limited gallery, I think improving at champ is where it's at, right? That's where the best prizes are. That's where the players will retain most value. Less transfer risk on the better cards in that sense. So that's kind of where I would be looking. Brad, what's going on, mate? Just saw you popped into the chat. Yeah, no way to see them. It's a graveyard. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely merit in getting rid of a few of them for sure. Challengers, what we got? What have we got? This is forwards. Tillman, Giacomakis, Abada. Yeah, you could argue. I mean, there's always improvements to make is the obvious answer to everything. But I think making improvements to champ is probably, makes the most sense. Obviously, it's the most expensive, but I think it's the most sort of stable, really. So yeah, maybe, chipping off the J-League cards and moving into that, potentially. Kalane, what's going on, mate? Zico, what's going on, pal? Appreciate you all popping in, lads. If you haven't left the stream a like, please do. That would mean a lot to me. It really, really would. Tom, what's going on, mate? Won't stay for long, but hope the stream goes well and we'll catch up later. No worries, mate. Thank you for popping in. But yeah, Jonathan, I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I'd definitely go Hamburg. Not just because Thiago supports them. But yeah, you said you're not, planning on to invest more money, which is fine. So that's where it's a case of obviously winning more / selling bits you don't want and turning them into bits you do want, i.e. maybe J-League cards into champ cards or even to some rare challenger cards, right? That's kind of where I'll be going. But Tom, you are actually up next, mate. So I don't know whether you want to stay in for this one. So you say, would appreciate a small gallery review. Been saving a small amount and see no reason to invest in the cards at the moment. Convinced me otherwise. Zico, well, you do have to become a member for gallery reviews. It is one of the perks that, becoming a member allows you to have / So yeah, that kind of answers that, mate. David says, yes, lads, what's up? Can you add me at the end of the list if possible? Forgot to post in mainly anything. Yeah, for sure, Dave. Let me write that down. Let me write you down. don't want to forget. Because I would forget, I think. Okay, in my terrible handwriting, I have given myself a reminder. Boyd says, is this members only? The stream isn't members only, but yeah, the gallery reviews are members only. They are, yeah. Okay, Tom, let's go. Goals are essentially to keep building out my gallery unlimited, specifically looking at adding more summer players, MLS and other summer leagues, and also build back into some rare MLS cards to give it a go when I have the funds to do so. I find that the league is very much fun to watch. Okay, so it sounds like you want to stay in MLS, which is great. Want to continue playing classic modes and keeping the stacks I've built to play classic next European season, and then build back into rare when I have a chunk to do it. That's kind of what I was explaining for the other Tom, actually, Tom Snow, to kind of do. So yeah, it makes sense. As far as like going back into rares, you're going to need the chunk to come in, basically, which makes sense. Questions are essentially your opinions on my depth, what areas need strengthening, and is it worth keeping European players over the summer period or selling them before and reinvesting to keep with the leagues playing? Yeah, in the summer. I play this game for fun and not necessarily money, but still want to send support with what I have. Sounds good, mate. Thanks in advance. No worries, Tom. I hope you're still with us. No worries, Zico. There's no problem, mate. And no worries, David. No worries at all, mate. No worries, Jonathan. Oh, David just gifted a member as well. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Dave. I appreciate that, mate. I really, really do. And Ian picked it up. Let's go. Ian, my main man. I love that, mate. That's really, really nice of you, David. I really, really do appreciate that. Pondy said I nearly cried when I saw Oxlade-Chamberlain is eligible for seniors. That's mental. That is mental. But yeah, Zico, don't be silly. It's not your bad, mate. It's all good. Mike says, do you think this might be the best time to buy cards in the near future? So many factors involved already, such as season ending, in-season requirements, or people... Yeah, it's a weird time, mate, isn't it? This is like a once in a, I say lifetime, or you know what I mean. Like, this period won't really happen again. In that, like... Not it won't happen again. What am I trying to say? Like, a lot of cards right now don't have much in-season utility left, and you know, the cards that Sorare are selling right now, you know, in like European season cards, obviously, you know, only have so much in-season eligibility. So could they technically be cheaper? Well, they're obviously going to be cheaper than the cards in August, right? But it's like, how much cheaper is kind of what we're getting at, right? Is that kind of what makes most sense? But yeah, Mike, it's a weird time. I honestly don't know the exact... I mean, no one knows the exact answer, right? But yeah, prices just do feel, yeah. I mean, across the board, just wild. But that's just where we're at right now as a community / you know, platform. Are they going to spike? I don't know. It's so hard to say. Like, I'm not saying, you know, in-season cards in August probably do, but in relation to classic cards, what do they go for? Like, what's the difference? You know, what's the disparity between, yeah, classic cards and new season cards in August? It's going to be really interesting. But to answer Tom's question, like, you know, about selling your European cards, Tom, my first initial answer is probably not. Like, I know you have some really good champ cards, and, you know, to sell those off MLS cards just sounds like it's just not going to be worth it. I'll be honest, mate. Like, you can't, if you sold Bellingham, let's say you just sold Bellingham, Kane, Vert, whatever, right? Like, there's only so many MLS, like, good cards you could buy anyway. And I know for a fact you already have most of them. So, like, that, I don't think there's much point in that, personally. I think you have some incredibly elite cards at champ level. And yeah, they're going to be out of season in August, right? But, you know, how much does a Rodri's not, let's say Rodri's £100 right now. What is Rodri's classic card come August? I don't know, like, at limited level. Nobody knows, obviously. Yeah, Glenn says, please don't sell those cards for Emma. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's just no point. You have some elite cards, and even though some of them are in season, they're going to lose some bits of value. They're just going to, because that's just how this game works right now, you know, seasonally. You know, there's no way on earth that you should be selling these cards for more MLS cards, because as I'll show you guys as well, Tom has some really good MLS cards, like, really good. So, you know, Painso, Puig, Rossi, Morris, Cucho, Scholter. Like, he has really good cards, so it just doesn't make sense. Like, there's not many other cards you can get. Is obviously what I'm, you know what I'm getting at, and yeah, I just don't see the point. I really, really don't. You're stacked already there. Obviously, there's cards you could get, but it's not worth selling out of those champ cards to do that, because you won't make the difference up over the summer. I promise you won't. And yeah, then you're just ready for champ, like, going into next season. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really need to do much other than maybe potentially buy some in-season cards. So yeah, just catching up on what else you said. So yeah, areas that need strengthening. So yeah, let me just have a look at what we've got over the summer, strength-wise. So we've got 2 keepers, Scholter, Millia. Okay, fine. Basically 1 keeper there, 1.5 if we're being honest. So defenders, Amundsen, Brooks Lennon, Yamane. I mean, you can't really do too much more, can you? In the, you know, we've been through the MLS, and you know, everyone's griped with their defenders, and that's, you know, it is what it is. Morris, Puig, you know, 2 McGlynn. Yeah, we got Chenier, you know, 2 elite there, and then, you know, a couple of good midfielders as well to go with it. I think that's kind of fine if you're playing 1 or 2 lineups, right? That's all you really need, and you've got 3 elite forwards. So, and you've got Rui Diaz. You know, there's definitely other forwards in here, but you know, you've got more than enough depth, Tom, to be playing 1/2, you know, MLS Challenger teams over the summer. I wouldn't really do too much unless there's any freak injuries. I genuinely wouldn't touch any of those MLS cards. I'm just gonna have a look at what have you got in contenders. I didn't think you did, but maybe you do now. Okay, so you started buying a couple. Yeah, not too much. Okay. So yeah, let me have a look once more. Champion, just as far as depth goes, and see if there's any pieces that we can miss. Any pieces we could add. Sorry. Kane, Haaland, Lautaro, Musiala, Dovberg, Martinelli. I'm not adding too much to those forwards personally. I don't think there's much point. Bellingham, Wirtz, Rodrigo, Phil Foden, Palacios, Goretzka, Xhaka. Yeah, again, mate, honestly, you're at a stage where, like, there's no point buying much more. Like, honestly, you have as much depth as anyone could ask for in champions in MLS, in my opinion. And I know you said somewhere here, didn't you? Is it worth keeping European players? Absolutely, I think. Absolutely. And you said you play the game for fun. So yeah, mate, honestly, I wouldn't do much. I would just enjoy the time playing it, you know, enjoy the rest of the European season, and enjoy, you know, the summer period with the MLS, 100%. Cameron, what's going on, mate? Just catching up on the chat, lads. David said, no worries, always happy to help out a user. These reviews are a brilliant way to get a second opinion and support. No, I appreciate that, mate. Yeah, I hope they do help. I really do. So, Alex, what's going on, mate? What's going on, pal? Prices for me are way too low at super level. Can't speak below. You can still use. You still can use 2 old season super rares. So there shouldn't be such a big split between. Yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with you there, Dave. I really, really do, mate. Dennis, what's going on, mate? What's going on, pal? Where are you now with the game? Now the dust is settled. Excuse me. Bob Flynn, what's going on, mate? If you are asking me, Zico, then yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm at a good stage with the game now. Like, I'm sort of at peace with what's happened. Not that I was ever, like, distraught about it, if that makes sense. Like, I like change. Like, I'm just somebody that I just felt like the game was getting stale for me, and for a lot of people. I weren't really enjoying my time on Sorare, really, in that, like, it felt like a job in a weird way. And now it feels like a game, if that makes sense, again. Like, it genuinely feels like a game. I know there's, you know, there's promotion and relegation talk, and no one, you know, people don't like divisions, whatever. Everyone's going to have their opinion, that's fine. But I do think on the whole, the game feels more like a game, if that makes sense. You know, we have promotion, relegation, there's more strategy involved. You know, there's definitely things now that have been added. There's definitely more things that can be added to where this just feels like a game. For a long time, it just didn't feel like a proper game. You know what I mean? Like, it's obviously not a game that we're playing like fucking FIFA, but it does feel like it's becoming more intricate. I know some people don't want that, but I'm not saying it's complex. Well, it is quite complex, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just play Flappy Bird on my phone. Like, I want to play something that has strategy, right? I think we're all seeking that sort of similar level of game. And I think Sorare is gradually moving towards that. Like, you can only make football so complex, right? It's just 11 guys running around on a field, kicking the ball around. I know it's a bit more complicated than that, but you know what I mean. Like, that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, Jonathan says, buy players for the Euros and the Olympic. Nah, but he already has those players that have been playing there, really. Like, if you have really good champ cards, the chances are your players are going to be playing at the Euros. Simple as. Mike says, after a while focusing on EPL champions, I would agree classic comms over in-season. Cash is good, but chance to win tier zeros is much, much higher value if you can if you have competent teams to reach those heights. I agree with you, Mike. Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. Like, winning cash is fun, like, lower down in a way. Like, nobody's realistically winning the jackpots every week in season. Like, when I'm setting my in-season lineups, I'm just looking to churn 40s, 50s, 60s, $80. I'm not looking to, like, win it. Obviously, I want to win it, but, like, realistically, I'm not going to win it. So I'm happy to build 5 in-season lineups at Rare and hope they all hit $50, $40 each. It's $200, right? That's kind of how I'm looking at it within season. Whereas Classic, yeah, you are looking to win those comps because that's where the big prizes are. Ian, what's going on, mate? Buzzing you are involved in the member stream now. I'm loving the new format, Bones. He said, yeah, fair play. I do as well. Zico, good summary yet. Need change to ensure the diehard semi-rewarded and prevent casual just auto-entering lineups all over the shop. Yeah, fair enough. Could get a cheeky Copa America stack. Yeah, that could work, Len, for sure. Damn it, Tavernier benched. Oh, is that the Austrian League guy, Bonesy? Fucking hell. He's played like every game, hasn't he? Sorry, lads, I got a bit distracted then. Right, K-Flow. Let's get back on track, lads. Okay, K-Flow. Clean, I know you were in here earlier, mate. So if you are still in here, amazing. So, deciding what to do with my cards. When next season comes, I will have so many classic cards. Therefore, I need to decide which cards I should be keeping and which I should move on or swap for Summer League players. Also, happy for you to look at my gaps in the gallery, especially in Challenger and Contender, as these are the comps I prioritize. Okay, sorted. Let's do that. So, let's go into Challengers first and just see what you've got going on. And we can kind of take it from there. And yeah, the thought process of, yeah, you might have too many classic cards or teams in August is a very valid point. Obviously, I've brought that up already. And yeah, I'm just glad you're like aware of that, K-Flow, which is great. Okay, so what do we have going on here? So I'm just catching up on the chat. Lots of good stuff in the chat today, lads. It's very distracting, which is good. No, not at all, Ian. Not too late at all, mate. Don't be silly. Get yourself in there, mate. Get yourself in there. Just Mike here. I have a good thought question. Well, I'm going to read David's first. My thoughts right now, based on card prices right now, how many times would I need to win early next season to get an in-season team out and then churn cash? I think prices are good for ROI right now. Yeah, that's going to be everyone's goal, isn't it? How quickly can you win 3 super rares, 4 rare in-season cards and start churning? That is going to be, yeah, that's going to be on everyone's sort of mind, isn't it, Dave? And yeah, it might not easy at super rare, but obviously you need less. So, you should win them quicker in theory, but obviously it is quote-unquote tougher to win up there, but in some ways it's not as well. So, depends what scarcity, depends what like quality of cards, right? Mike says, do you think Bundesliga and La Liga will have similar level rewards in season and classic as EPL? If so, do you think those players in 2 comps mentioned are undervalued? Yeah, good point, Mike. Do I think they'll have the exact same amount of, cash on offer or whatever and cards as Prem? Oh, I want to say no, if I'm being completely honest. Now, how much difference? I don't know. Is that going to be a 25% difference? Like, let's say Premier League gives out, I don't know, let's just say 10k a week as a baseline figure. Then, Bundesliga, La Liga give out 7.5k. That would be my thought process. I don't think they'll be all equal, if I'm being honest. But I could be wrong. I hope I am wrong in a way. I hope they're all the same, but I really don't think they will be. And that's just my gut feeling. He was the only player that looked dangerous. What, looked dangerous as in like he wouldn't play, Tobias? Oh, Tavernier not playing for Austria is a good thing for his stack. I got you. Yeah, I don't know, mate. In a way, I still, regardless of if they only give out 25% less than, Premier League, I still think they could be undervalued, maybe. Yeah, I agree with you, Glenn. I still think it would be solid rewards, but I think Prem would be the best rewarded. I have to agree with that. I really do. Anyway, back to K-Flow. So we've got Challenger keepers. We've got a couple of MLS boys in here. Fry, Roof, Blake, Kofi. I mean, you've got like 10 starters there. But of course, they're all going to be classic cards. So, if you have 10 goalkeepers right now, let's say you have 10 starters there. You might have a few more, but let's just call it 10. Like, obviously, like we said, we can only use 3. There's no point. I know some of them are MLS, so fair enough. 2 or 3, they're summer cards. Take out the summer cards, just talk about the European cards. You're only going to need like 4 or 5. I'm sorry. I don't think you need 8 or 9. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely room to definitely condense cards, 100%. Howard Bellis, nice. Carl Walker-Peters, just hope they don't get promoted. Joe Rodon the same, but they are probably going to be... Someone's going to be heading to the Prem out of those couple of teams. I mean, I wouldn't really condense your defenders, to be honest, because playing double defender, playing double midfield is the most, meta thing to do, I think, in general on the game. I'm not saying not playing double forward isn't good, but most of the time somebody's playing double mid or double forward, double mid or double defender. And so having more defenders and mids is not a bad thing. I think that, you probably still need quite a bit of depth there. Luna, Sarah, El Yanusi. I think El Yanusi just got injured, but I don't know how bad of an injury it is. So, yeah, if anyone knows, please do help us. So, yeah, that is that. João Paulo. Okay, some nice MLS cards. Rusnak. You definitely got some boys in here that could pop. Again, I probably... Senkums. Nice. Probably wouldn't touch too much. Like, I wouldn't be trimming any of these down. Maybe goalkeepers is the only thing I would probably... trim down, because you're just not going to have the positions to play them in, or the teams. Forwards is strong. Mertens, Ruta, Armstrong, Carranza, Matson, Rui Diaz, Ellis Sims, Nielsen, Sargent. Very strong. Saloy, Polido. Yeah, very strong at Challenger. Yeah, I wouldn't, because obviously it's mixed in with MLS. I wouldn't really actually get rid of any Challenger players. Maybe goalkeepers, like European goalkeepers, you could look at offloading. And then contenders. Let's see what we got. Contenders. Labrovic, Rafana, J-League. Okay, yeah, we got a good amount of starters here as well, don't we? Which I know Joe Hart's retiring, so there's a couple there that won't be there, maybe. Yeah, I mean, you'd probably... Thing is, there's going to be transfers as well. That's something to look out for. Like, contender cards will move to challengers or even champ, maybe, and... that's something that we just have to, just deal with, I guess. Yeah, I mean, you're looking really strong at defense. Obviously, you've got the Oviedo boys. And you've got the Auxerre boys. A couple of J-League boys in there as well. POV. I don't think that really needs too much work. Midfielders. I mean, you've got some really good, Baturina, YBG, some Celtic boys. Canales. There's some good cards there. There's nothing like this good, really good Colombato. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you'll probably find at mid, actually. Stravetta. There's the boy. Yeah, I mean, it's one of them where, like, you've got quite a few cards, obviously, but you probably don't have enough to where I'd be like, you need to chop so many of those off. The only thing that is glaringly obvious is the goalkeepers for me. Especially in challenges, like you probably don't need that many European goalkeepers going into next season. So yeah, and then swapping for summer league teams. Like you have quite a few J-League boys. It could be worth swapping a few European contender cards for a few extra J-League players. Like you have a good base, you have a good goalkeeper, you have Shoatani here, POV. Like not that he plays in the J-League, but you know what I mean. Like YBG. Maybe like a Mitsuta or something up front. I know you have Cicinia. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Maybe you got Cicinia, but he's always injured. Like somebody else, maybe like a Mitsuta potentially. That could work. I definitely think there's merit in that, mate. But yeah, I wouldn't really do too much, mate. Honestly, like I said, there's a couple of things with goalkeepers I would probably try and swap out. Maybe getting a Mitsuta, someone decent up front, from the J League, just to make that J League contingency a bit better. But K-Flow, honestly, I don't think you really need to do too much. Honestly. But yeah, let me know if you have any more questions, mate, and we'll get into that. Tangled Berry is up next. Okay. So, you're building a Bayern Munich collection, so I have 5% on them in August. Great. I also have some England players for the Euros. Amazing. Unsure whether to get more England/Euro players or pick up another team to build a collection of either Champ Europe to pair with Bayern or a Challenger contender team and try and get another 5% collection bonus team. Any other suggestions you have for my players would be great. So, my first thing I want to mention there is, I'm not telling anyone to not prepare for the Euros and stuff, but like, it's exciting to have players playing in European competitions or like summer competitions, national comps. It's great. But like, I don't think you should base strategies around it personally. I think it's a bit more, it's just a better strategy to just, like you mentioned here, should I, get another collection of a Champ Euro team or even a Contender Challengers team? I'd be looking to do that personally. I'm not saying don't go out and buy English players. But what I am saying is, like, you're doing well on the Bayern stack. You obviously picked up a few English boys. Great. I'm not saying don't get a few more English boys in because you already have a couple. But I think I'd be looking at trying to get another collection in, whether that's Arsenal, whoever. So I wouldn't really move too much personally. Like, you've got a lovely base, lovely Bayern stack and collection. Obviously, a few Premier League cards. If you want to build a Brighton stack, go for it. Everton, whatever. Like, but I wouldn't go just and buy cards for the sake of the Euros, personally. Not that you can't use them after. Jonathan says international utility. It is. But in competitions, it's not. Like, for the World Cup, for Euros, like, it's good to play. Like, it's fun to have a stake in it. But as far as, like, legit chances of winning things from it, it's not really there. Whereas, like, when we do the Nations League stuff, Jonathan and stuff, that's where we get the return because there's just not many people doing it. Everyone's going to be playing the Euros. So it's like, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Parrots will play in the Olympics. Yeah, the Olympics as well. It'll be fun. I just don't think you need to base strategies around it, if that makes sense. Like, you should have, the main strategy should be, okay, I'm buying a Bayern stack. But in the Bayern stack, there's people that play at the Euros. You know what I mean? It should be a secondary thing, not like a primary thing, in my opinion. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that, Tankleberry. I don't think that needs too much else to be said. Like, yeah, start another stack would be my advice. I'm not going to come and tell you what stack to do. Like, I'm not, like, I don't have any, I have 5% collection. I'm not saying I'm against collections, but I think they are definitely needed at limited level. And at rare for sure, but the higher up you go, the less need there is for them, I think. Excuse me. I have 74 viewers, by the way, which is mad. Fair play, lads. I really didn't expect it to be that popular, to be honest. The gallery reviews. I know these, like, people do like watching these in general, but when we do lineup building, it keeps like flickering on and off. It's really strange. Really weird. Everyone works from home, mate. During work times is the best. Yeah, good point. Yeah, that's a good point, actually, to be fair. It's a decent point. I'm just catching up on a bit of the chat. THB and K, yeah. Carl Walker Peters definitely won't be. THB might, but yeah, I agree with you. I'm sorry, I'm just having a little read. David says, good point, David. More chance to win in classics in not as tough competition face. Maybe I'm the odd man out, but I'm loving Sorare since transition and think August even more. Agree, Harry. Maybe a slight lower percentage on Bundesliga and La Liga. Even with a 20% lower rewards, I still think there's more opportunity in building those two teams. I agree. Also much more broader scoring than the EPL. Yeah, I don't know actually. What are you saying? Like there's, I don't know, because this season has just been by late. Saying that Stuttgart Stacks have done pretty well, haven't they? On their day, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe that does ring true. To be fair, Mike. No worries, Colleen. No worries at all, mate. Do we think they'll go hard for the Euros or sack it off and put the eggs in there? Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't think they go that hard on the Euros personally. I really don't. Yeah, exactly, Simon. Could kill two birds with one stone and get a champ stack with Euro players. Exactly it, 100%. Does the MLS and other leagues play through the Euros? Yeah, they do. I think they do, mate. Like, Messi's going to miss like a month and a half of the MLS because he's going to be at Copa Libertadores, Copa America. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Ooh, Simon picked up a Reece James. Okay. Come on then, Si. I want to have comfortable playing field in all three categories, plus some room for rotation where which I think I have, but any advice on weak spots would be great. I don't have lots of champ teams to put in when champ gets split into La Liga, Bundes and Premier League. And still have classic comps to enter into that. Should I buy 2 or 3 teams for next season so that eventually I can put 3 classic teams into every comp there will be? Also, in your opinion, should I invest in some in-season big hitters like Jude since the prices are down and just play them in classic? While I can get them on auction so I can get a collection bonus with them easy, or just hold off and get the new season. I mean, look, nobody knows what the prices of these new season cards are going to be at the end of the day. But I still think it's probably worth waiting, if I'm being honest. I don't think it's worth buying now if you're going to buy a collection, really. European-wise, that is. I'm just going to have a look at the champ boys, like you said. So you have the Milan boys, you've got Pedri in there, Madison, Mittelstadt, Nobel, Areola, De Jong. So you got Barca boys and Stuttgart boys. Okay. I mean, it looks to me here that you probably... I know you said with the split you won't have 3 in each, obviously. But you definitely have a good amount of cards here. Big Yorbe. Like a good amount of cards, actually. So my thinking is, off the top of my head, really, Si, you know, it comes back to what you said at the end there. I really think it's probably worth waiting. And I'm not saying go out and buy the 1 of 1,000s because they're going to be extortionate. But what I am saying is, I definitely think if you do have a good chunk of money to want to put into champ cards, wait until the new season. I really do think so. I just don't think it makes sense to not do that. And then just having a look at everything else, what you said, sorry. I don't have a lot, yeah. Should I buy 2 or 3 teams? Yeah, I definitely would buy 2 or 3 more teams for next season, but I would do that next season. Like, I wouldn't do that now. I really don't see the point. You have some really good bases already here. The Milan boys, you got a couple of, you know, loaney boys in like Alvarez and Madison, like that aren't in collections, if that makes sense, which is fine. Like, I'm not saying they have to be in collections, but I really do think, wait. I really do think wait if you're going to buy new champ cards. Definitely buy them in season, because that then, it just frees up, it just allows you to not have to sell your champ classic cards. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these that are in season right now, they're going to become classic in August. We know this. You have enough here to where, like, the amount of cards you have here and the quality you have will fill out quite a few teams, but like you said, not all of them. And so that's why I think, you know, buying new in-season cards is just going to alleviate that classic pressure to like to have to not play those cards. Like, you're going to be able to play everything basically if you buy new in-season cards. That's kind of where I'm at with that question, to be honest. But yeah, let's just have a look at like individually. Yeah, you have like 10 goalkeepers there starting. Yeah, I mean, defenders are fine. You've probably got a row and a half of good defenders, I would say. Midfielders, I would argue. Yeah, you probably got 2 rows. Yeah, maybe 3 rows of good midfielders at Champ. Forwards, you got some really good forwards, actually. Some that could come good as well. No, you've got good depth, you do. But I definitely wouldn't be buying now. Like, if we're talking collection, definitely wait till the new season. I really, if there was like 20 games left, then maybe. But there's not. There's like 4, 5, 6 max, you know. So I just think, you know, just play with what you've got. I wouldn't bother really doing too much, personally. Wow. Cucho, Bakayoko, Rossi, some lovely forwards there. Challenger. I mean, I know you're really strong at Challenger with the PSV boys, so you're pretty set there. Yeah, I would hold tight, Si. I really would, because I know you're winning quite a bit right now and stuff. I would definitely hold tight. Simon says, yeah, I think PSG, Real, and Chelsea. Jesus, man. It's a lovely 3. Boyd says, sorry I missed the answer, but is it a YouTube member or Discord? It's a YouTube membership, but you get access to a private Discord. Boyd is basically, yeah, how that works. So you become a YouTube member, you get your lineups built every week, twice a week, gallery review every month, and you get into the Discord as well. I don't know whether you are in. Maybe you're in. Somebody's in. Oh, Ian's in. Yeah, Ian's in. So yeah, hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense to you, Si. But yeah, that sounds great to me. Those some free wicked teams. They're going to cost a decent amount of money, but I think because they're in season, they are going to help you, you know, pay them off as quickly as possible. No, I wasn't laughing at Chelsea. I genuinely wasn't, Drake, honestly. Like, genuinely now. Waiting is the move for sure. I think you could see a lot of people selling Europe to buy Brazil MLS once the season ends. Wouldn't be shocked if Europe cards dip another 10%, 10-20%. Would probably have to agree with you, Kennedy. I really would. 100%. Simon says, just afraid of seeing in-season Bellingham go back up to 250 when the hype is back. Couldn't find the link. The link is, like, in this chat. Do you see the Nightbot? The Nightbot. There's a Nightbot that says, want your gallery reviewed or lineups built. There's like, the link to the channel there. Or, like, to the join thing, if that makes sense. Excuse me. Next year's your year for us. I hope it is, mate. Enzo's season next year. The fraud, Jackson. Okay. Me SSV. Come on, then. Let's see what we can cook up here. Don't know why I'm going over to lineup build, but here we are. Okay, not really sure on my goals. Quite enjoying my 3 contender limited collections and not really looking to expand, grow. That's fine. Just moved back into rares and loving the champ rare comps. Currently have 2 teams and looking to maybe get another, but mostly thinking of getting better quality players and moving back into 1 rare champ classic team with better quality players. Not sure on that though. Would like your opinion on that. What should I focus on in terms of progression, and am I going in the right direction? Thanks, mate. Appreciate it a lot. Have football practice. I don't know if I can catch a stream. We'll definitely be back later. Perfect. Okay. So I love to hear that you are dipping back into rares at champ level. And let's see who we've got going on here then. So let's go high to low. So we've got Jose Sarr, Falcone. We've got Fornals, who's smashing his knee. Felipe Anderson, player Lamina, Pinnock, Kilman, Bentley, Sarabia. Okay, yeah, it's the Wolves boys, isn't it? The Wolves boys. I mean, I definitely think there's merit in condensing this into like one really strong team. I know you said you wanted to add another one, if that makes sense, but you said you're thinking about moving back to 1 champ classic team with better quality players. I think that is the move, if I'm being honest. Like somebody like, let's just argue Fornals is really good next year. Fornals, I know Felipe Anderson's leaving, so it's good. You definitely obviously need to sell him. Jose Sarr, whoever the Wolves defender you want to pick. Fornals, not an elite forward, but a good forward that's like Felipe Anderson level that isn't moving, of course. Player's decent. And then an extra player, right? Sarabia, whoever, right? There's definitely merit in condensing. Ethan Pinnock's a good player as well, to be fair. You have some good players, but yeah, I definitely think I'd be looking to, instead of playing 2 or 3 champ classic teams that don't really get anywhere, if we're being honest, maybe they scrape something on a good day. I definitely think there's merit in really improving and condensing into one, mate. I'm fully on board with that. I think, like you said, you're happy with your limited collections. That doesn't need any sort of maintenance. I think the maintenance is condensing this champ gallery into 8 players, I would say. Obviously, your 5 starters and then, you know, a couple of bench boys. The ones I would definitely keep from this is probably, you know, you've got Jose Side, probably keep him. Probably keep Sarabia, Fornals. You know, probably keep the Wolves core, if I'm being honest. And then, yes, you know, extra player forward needs to be relatively good, or very good, actually, to give yourself a real good chance of competing, mate. That is literally how I'm playing it for you. And I think what you're doing in as far as right direction goes, like you said, makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, no, I think you're on the right tracks there, MSSV, 100%. Just catching up on the chat. Simon gifted a membership, and Sorare Holland got it. Let's go. Sorare Holland, welcome, mate. Simon, thank you so much for doing that. That's an absolute amazing thing for you to do, and I really do appreciate it. I really, really do. And Boyd joined as well. Boyd Yan, welcome. Should be a link after you've become a member. There should be a little Discord link in the community tabs on YouTube. Get yourself into the Discord, lads. And there's a gallery review section or channel in the Discord. There's a template that I posted a couple of days ago. If you scroll up, you'll find it. And everyone just follows that template basically and just put in, you know, your goals and, you know, what you want out of Sorare in that sense. And we'll definitely have a little look at your galleries, mate. So, yeah, you know, massively appreciate you boys joining. And, yeah, looking forward to reviewing the galleries. MSSV, no worries at all, mate. Also have a McNeil rare, but he isn't showing up. That's annoying. Oh, yeah, definitely keep the McNeil rare. Obviously, he's forward, isn't he? I still don't think that's enough if you're talking like, because everything's classic next year, right? You know what I mean? Like in August, everyone's in season champ cards right now move to classic. So I love McNeil, but he's only able to play on certain matchups. You know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely think there's merit in getting like a really good extra player. Fornals is fine, I think, as long as he keeps this up as the mid. But I definitely think forward needs to be semi-elite. The extra player definitely needs to be like pretty elite. For one, if you want that one champ team to really kick every week or most weeks, I think there's definitely a need for that, mate. 100%. Okay. AG plays. Well, that's Shamrock, isn't it? I always get that wrong. Shamrock. I don't think this is the right Shamrock. Again, there's so many Shamrocks on here. It's quite hard to get the right one. There he is. Okay, yeah, definitely looking for an insane quality. Yeah, it's hard with forwards, mate. I find forwards the hardest position on Sorare to get right, like week by week. Yeah, I really, really do. Jonathan just got Pavard, Mazraoui, and Goretzka for my champ depth. Love that. It's a nice 3. Goretzka, you know, looks to be in some good form right now. So I'm just replying to a WhatsApp. Sorry, lads. Okay. Sorry, lads. Okay. Shamrock wants to play challenges with MLS over the summer and then Premier League when it returns. How should I progress with my current gallery without putting any more money in? I'd like to strengthen my gallery, but either buy-ins, some big names, or maybe a stack I'd like to strengthen my gallery by either buying some big name players or maybe a stack of another MLS team. I'm open to selling anybody, so any suggestions you would have is great. Also, if you have any specific strategies you would recommend based on the cards I have, would love to hear. Come on then, let's see what we're working with. So £111 gallery. Excuse me. Okay, so we have, it's mainly challenges, isn't it? I think is what you've got. And then obviously the Premier League boys as well. Some of the Wolves boys. So, I mean, to be completely honest, I don't see how your gallery gets better without putting money in. So you've, like, if I'm being honest, because you said that, how should I progress my current gallery without putting any more money in? And then you said I'd like to strengthen my gallery by either buying some big names or maybe a stack of an MLS team. If you are in here, AG, I'm just curious, like, how are you supposed to do that if you don't want to put any money in, is kind of my first question. Rizzo, what's going on, mate? That's where I'm a bit confused. Like, how are you supposed to do that without putting any more money in is my first question, because that just makes things very tough. We've got some decent players here, but we don't have anything that's, like, groundbreaking, going to win you rewards every single week. You're going to get, you're going to have to get quite lucky in certain spots, as everyone does, but the less quality you have, harder it is to win, state the obvious. But yeah, that's kind of my only like question there, AG, is how would you, like, because there's no way you're going to win yourself into a completely new stack. It's impossible with the size of the gallery you have. It's just never going to happen, in my opinion. You'd have to get incredibly lucky to win like an in-season challenger comp before this season ends. And I'm not saying it can't happen, but what I'm saying is it's very unlikely. And so, yeah, I'm just interested to see how that will work. But as far as like the strategy between buying big name players or maybe a stack for an MLS team, I think I would go with, an MLS stack per se, whether that's an LA Galaxy forward stack and a Seattle defensive stack or, whatever, mix and match it. Or you can go all 5 of the same team, a full Columbus stack. I don't think you can go far wrong with that. They have a really good 5, really, with Morris and Cucho, Rossi, Amundsen. But the problem is other people are playing that already and they have more XP. So it's like you need a differential at the end of the day. There's no point doing a 5-man stack of like the obvious 5 because other people are just playing those stacks already. You need 1, maybe sometimes 2 different players to break up that stack, to make that work. But yeah, like this team doesn't get any better unless you put more money in. That's just a fact. Or this gallery doesn't. Like with any gallery, this doesn't just apply to you. This applies to anyone. So yeah, I definitely think if you do have the money to, go into another MLS team, because the Revs haven't been good, as we know, unfortunately. And you don't even have a Carlos Heel who's their best player. So, a Rev stack without Carlos Heel doesn't really work right now. Even with Carlos Heel, it's not working, if we're being honest. Like, this is just me being brutally honest. You know what I'm like. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I want you guys to win as much as possible. And I'm going to tell you the best ways I think that is going to happen. And sometimes they're the most obvious / brutal ways in that you have to just buy better players sometimes. Like, you do have some good players already, but these aren't going to cut it, in my opinion, on a week-to-week basis. And so, yeah, for that reason, there's definitely, like, this isn't going to get easier unless you put more money in. David says, I think an extra 50 quid on your MLS side would really strengthen it in a few positions. And if you can churn a few nice rewards, you'll be in a good place. Completely agree, David. Like, it's not going to take a massive amount of money, like a crazy amount, to strengthen the MLS boys. Like, it wouldn't. You already have the goalkeeper. All it takes with the MLS is to buy, how much is Santi Rodriguez? I know Santi's probably quite expensive right now, but maybe he's not. I don't know. How much is Santi's limited card? 8 quid for his classic. Like, you could buy Santi Rodriguez. You could buy, how much is Benteke? I know he's not unbelievable, but I'm just trying to think of players off the top of my head who are, I can't spell Benteke. How much is Benteke right now? 17 quid, a little bit more expensive, and then another mid. How much is Rusnak? He can't be expensive. 3 quid. So for 28 quid there, you could buy, 2 really good mids and a forward that's half decent in Benteke. That already improves your MLS team, no end. Robin Lodd's a good one, yeah. Robin Lod's a very good one, actually. Yeah. He needs Gil, or he might as well dump all the revs, boys. I kind of agree, Tobias, in a way. Yeah, you probably do need to add a heal. A little Carlos into here. How much is he going for? He's probably still 21 quid. Yeah, so you could get Carlos heal for 21 quid. I know there's no point. Like, I'd rather Rusnak and Santi personally than a Carlos heal, in my opinion. Hector Herrera. Yeah, how much is Hector right now? I know he's coming back, isn't he? Hector Herrera is 15 quid. I'm definitely getting Hector Herrera over Carlos heal personally. I think it's May. Yeah, Simon said it's May. I agree. But yeah, there's definitely merit in improving those bits, AG, but it is going to come at a cost of probably. Okay. Alex Coombs is up next. Alex Coombs. Okay, again, I've gone on to lineup building for no reason. I'm just going to go over to Sorare just in case there's any notifications. I don't think there is. No, there's not. Am I still in Division? Yeah. I've been put into Division 2 now. It's been updated, lads. I thought I pulled a fast one. Sorry, just replying to old lady boy. Yeah, there's the new guys in the chat. What's going on, lads? Gallery review. Okay. Alex Coombs. Where are we? Okay. Unsure where to go with my gallery in August. I haven't won many rewards since the new format, which is making me doubt the quality of my cards that I currently have. I always thought about potentially playing under 23. I have an alright core of players for this comp. Some age out in July. Could under 23 turn into a viable strategy? Yeah, Al. I mean, look, I'm obviously somebody that's loved under 23s over the years. It's done pretty well for me. And yeah, in August, it's going to get better. Like, you're going to be able to play 3 lineups. There's going to be boxes, you know, those sort of things. There's divisions, whatever, right? It's going to get a lot more fun. And so, yeah, as far as your core goes, Leroy Mann, really nice. I know Mbuemo, yeah, he does age out. Eric Garcia, though, is nice. Van Hekke ages out as well, I think. Curtis Jones might have another year. Gutierrez has a couple of more, I think. Yours, Nauri probably has a few more as well. Yeah, you have a decent core. Buenanote, yeah, there's a few boys here. But as a blanket statement, yeah, go into under 23s. Why not? I don't think many people are going to be really, excuse me, like really doing that. It obviously is, but you know what I mean, like. I think that'll be a fun little way of doing it, especially because you can play 3 lineups. So maybe build out 2 or 3 under 23 teams, you know, around the teams you already have. I definitely think there's merit in doing that for August, 100%. I think under 23 is definitely going to get, yeah, a lot more fun, 100%. 100%. Tobias, this late guy is so chatty. All right, guys, just got back. I assume I've missed mine. Yeah, Tangleberry, we did yours 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, five users ago, if that makes sense. So yeah, probably half an hour ago, maybe. Go have a little look, mate. But yeah, glad you're back in the chat. But yeah, I'll definitely, I definitely wouldn't deter you from going into under 23 as a viable strategy, alongside obviously champ and contenders. But the fact that you can play multiple, like, I only think under 23 is worth doing if you can play multiple. You know what I mean? If you can play 2 or 3 in there that are all semi-good teams, then I definitely think you should. 100%, mate. Rice, Diaz. Yeah, you've got some nice champ cards. There's a core here. There's definitely a core. There's definitely need improvement, though. There's definitely a few places where I'd say forward. Well, you've got Diaz, Rice. Defender, if you're going to play, Van Hekke could, yeah, no, you've got like a team and a half here of champ cards. But then if you take a few of them out for under 23, you're probably left with like probably 1.5, 2 champ teams here that could have a go on this day. I definitely think there's room for improving the under 23 squad. And I definitely think it's a viable strategy, mate, going forward, 100%. 100%. Right, I'm going to move on to Tobe. Al, yours didn't really need, like, sometimes there's just not much to say. Like, the question you asked was a really good question, And I think it's quite a straightforward answer, in my opinion. Yeah, 100%, mate. So, Tobias. Tobias wants to strengthen rare gallery over time, focus on both challenger and contender, mainly Scandinavia, stay competitive in limited, challenger and contender, while not building it out. Maybe slim it down. Interesting. Do I think it's worth investing into in-season rare or better off building out classic part for now? I don't plan on putting much extra money into Sorare, a little here and there to fill holes. Any feedback is welcome. Okay. No worries, mate. Let's have a look at what you've got at rare level on the whole. Okay, so we've got 27 players. We have Noel Guzman, who should be back at some point. So yeah, you basically got 3 starters there, but 2 for now because Guzman's like shining light lasers into people's faces, isn't it? Yeah, would move cards on to move into under 23, 100%. I think that could be the play, mate. Go get yourself 2 or 3 nice under 23 teams, and sort of try and blast under 23s in August. I think that's a really fun little strategy that might, yeah, just people won't really be doing that often. Tobias says he's buying a Steve Clark ASAP. Nice, that's nice. Okay, defenders. Tsunomoto, Kessler. Okay, so lots of Chal. Berger Malin. Linez. Okay. And then midfielders. Evian. Hug. Matsumola Daly. Ooh, Shonier, love it. Hajal. This guy's smashing, isn't he? Selness. I don't know how you pronounce it properly, but I know he's doing really well. Oh no, it's Oli Sata as well is doing really well, I think. Igvardsson. I mean, just looking at L15s and 5s here, I definitely think forwards is where, if anything looks weak, I would say that's probably where needs improving. If I'm being honest, defenders look pretty fine, actually. I'd say midfielders look fine as well. Goalkeepers are just goalkeepers, we know. We know how horrible goalkeepers are. But I definitely think forwards, just a glance, is definitely where I'd be trying to improve things. Hardest position to get right on Sorare from like game week to game week. Hardest thing, I always say, hardest thing in football is scoring goals. So there's a reason why, the forward position lets you down the most, right? And there's just not much AA really from forwards. But yeah, as far as, let's have a look at what you've got in limiteds. I know you're going to have loads of limited cards, aren't you? I'm sure. Let's do roster price. Let's go limited. See how much. I'm going to guess your limited roster's worth 700. 500, okay. Okay, that's good. So you got majority in rare, so that's good. I like that. I think if improving at rare is what you want to do, you're probably going to want to have more money in rare than you are limited. Could that maybe get chopped down another 150 quid, maybe? Like, does that improve your rares dramatically? Maybe. That's 3 £50 cards. That's, 7 £30 cards or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely think Gobadsson should smash, been injured start of the season. Okay, fair enough. But we know what, players coming back from injury can be like. It's never straightforward, is it? As far as, them scoring and whatever. But, yeah, is it worth getting out of, like, the quote-unquote risky, limited smashes that you have? I know that means you're not going to be as competitive, but does that, if your goal is to get more competitive at rare, you could be at a place where maybe you do that. I don't know. That could be something to think about. But if you get a ton of fun out of playing limited, then don't listen to me in that sense. Oh, you've said it there. Yeah, I'll sell off the Austrian boys cabal and probably a few others. Okay, you said it there. Perfect. That makes a lot of sense. How is Forsberg £8, by the way? Mental. After he just got a decisive on the weekend. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to go to the pits of the gallery because, well, I am going to go there, but what I'm getting at is, like, is it worth chopping, £50 worth off of them? Maybe. If you can. I'm not saying that's easy just to do and sell straight away, but that would be the idea. Tangleberry says, I have just watched my gallery bit, and do you think under 23 would be better than a collection? Or if a collection is better, would you go champ, challenger, or would I go champ or challenger? I think I would go champ, mate. I know that they're the most expensive, but I think they retain their value the best, in my opinion. There's less transfer speculation on the whole. And yeah, as far as, should it be a champ collection or under 23 team? I still think champ personally, even though I'm a big under 23 fan, you know that. But I would still say champ. I still think under 23 is so random, like as far as like scoring goes and stuff. Whereas in champ, you have less to worry about. As long as you're getting a collection of like a decent team, decent to very good team, you know you're gonna have your week at some point. Whereas under 23, it's tough. Like it's really, really tough. Like you just like there's so many random players because it's obviously global, right? So it's fun. Like it's easy to get into, but it's also like very hard to. Tobias says he's gonna get some in-season stuff. Yeah. I think the blanket statement, if anyone has any questions about the in-season stuff, like should I buy a collection now or should I wait? I think wait. I'm not saying go out and buy the first collections, but I definitely think, yeah, you should definitely wait, 100%. It's hard to wait, I know, but yeah. So Tobias, I hope that makes sense, mate. And obviously, yeah, we'll get another review next month, see how it goes. But yeah, no, I really appreciate you, mate. Okay, Jonah Ladd. Want to be playing Challenger with MLS and Contender with Norwegian League cards until the European season are back, whilst using rewards and cash won to improve my teams for the European seasons. Being very heavily collection-based, my aim for next season are to use them in Classic, makes sense, and improve my teams by bringing in specific Smasher players, okay? With my gallery as it is, having downgraded from Rare to Limited, where I built into collections, do you think it's smart to keep the Limiteds I have now, or look to build back into Rare? That's always been the long-term aim. However, I always find myself buying limited bits to fill collections out. Okay, interesting. Let's see what we've got going on. Because I know you have a few rare cards, don't you, Jonah? Yeah, you do. Okay. Hector, nice, nice. Mikhail, okay. 2. Ethan Barlow's been pretty good. Yeah, so obviously you have the Houston stack. I mean, the only thing that Houston are missing, in my opinion, is a good forward card. And so, if you want that Houston stack to, like, make sense and, like, be competitive, like, I know they have Ibrahim, he's fine, but, like, he's not like Paintsill, right? Obviously. Like, the only thing I would change about your rare situation here, like, I wouldn't necessarily, well, maybe it might be worth selling a few limiteds. How much let me have a look at roster price a minute. What is limited? Okay, so still majority limited. Okay. And then 500 of... Yeah, so it's like a 2/3 split for limiteds. Okay, so you got the Celtic boys. So you got the Saint Trudeau boys. The 20 BVB boys. And then a few little smashers. Charlotte FC. Celtic as well. Okay. Okay. I mean, a part of me thinks if you want to get better at rare, I think the glaringly obvious thing is if you are looking to like once Hector's back, you've obviously got an elite mid there at rare level. I think maybe trim down your limited somewhere and try and bring in like a really good forward, MLS forward. Because that team then, like if Houston do well, like Ferreira's decent as well, but he hasn't really like kicked on yet. Like, I think that team's missing definitely, like, an elite forward. And so, I would definitely try and get that in to make that Houston Rare team you have, like, viable over the summer. So, yeah, let me just have a little swig. But, yeah, I think, you know, like you said, you're looking to build back into Rare. I think what you have in the MLS at rare level right now is fine. Maybe add a forward or two to really give yourself a chance over the summer to win cards with those rares. Other than them just not collecting dust, but, you know, just being there to just turn up to the party. You want them thriving at the party, right? You want them to do well. And, yeah, I definitely think adding a nice little forward there would be really useful. And to do that, you don't have to sell limiteds. Obviously, you could just buy one. But... you know, if you don't want to put any more money in, then it's of course a case of potentially selling a few limiteds and doing it that way, mate. So I hope that makes sense. And yeah, mate. Any more questions? Please do let me know. But that's kind of what I would give you as advice, mate. Why am I not being able to spell again? Okay, Simon, have to bounce for some 5-a-side. Love that, Si. Enjoy the rest of the stream, lads. No worries at all, Si. I hope you enjoy the 5-a-side. I really miss playing 5-a-side, but yeah, go get me a hat-trick, Si. I believe in you, mate. And I really do appreciate you gifting the membership as well. Freddie Montero. Is that the Freddie Montero that used to play for Seattle? Pretty sure it is, isn't it? Just having a little 2-minute break. Yeah, he's gone to Colombia. Yeah, I saw he's been scoring a few goals, hasn't he? Just looking through my under-23s and Van Heck is already aging out. Yeah, I know. It's weird, isn't it, Al? Like, obviously I have a Van Heck as well. But yeah, he hasn't really, like... Yeah, he just hasn't been useful enough, has he, in under-23s to warrant, like, being under-23 for this amount of time. Yeah, it feels strange. It does. It really, really does. Have anyone seen the senior special thing? Apparently the boxes are like 10% for a jersey. Let's have a look. Oh, here we go. Yeah, no, have a look at this. Look at that, 10% mystery jersey. That's pretty sick. 50%. That's mad. Oh, so they've changed. Look at that. 10% for a tier 4, 7 tier 3. 1% at a star. That's insane, by the way. Adriano, no, you haven't missed your live yet, mate. No worries. Hoping Barco's a viable option to stack with Bart. Ooh, yeah. I don't know if they're going to give Barco the minutes next season. Depends who the gaffer is, obviously. If De Zerbi leaves, maybe. But I got a feeling they're gonna ease him in. I really do, Charles. I hope I'm wrong, but the rewards are low for cards. Yeah, but the probabilities are really high. Wow, look at that. 10% for a tier 4. That's insane. So what have you got to do? Senior special. Climb the top of the leaderboards. Do I even have anyone over? Yeah, I do. Kaminsky, baby. Go on, Big Thomas. I don't have that. I don't have no mids. Kamar Roof. I can't even play it super rare. That's fine. Can I play it rare? Oh, I have plenty of oldies at rare. Plenty of oldies. Who are my mids? I got plenty of old age pensioners here. That's fine. I'll definitely be playing that, I think. That'll be fun. Okay. Sorry, lads. I'm getting distracted. Was going to enter anyway, but defo entering now. Yeah, 100%. Okay. Back to business. Come on, Bonesy. So, planning on moving into Champ Europe Limited during the off-season. Also, buy an MLS in-season team for the summer. Thoughts on thoughts on what to do in order to move into Champ Europe, what league to target, what MLS team do we reckon is good for stacking, was thinking Galaxy. Okay, so thoughts on what to do in order to move into Champ. So what leagues to target, you asking for Champ Europe? Do you have any Champ at all? No. Okay. So you're starting fresh. That's fun. So on the MLS side of things first, let me just get into that. You said LA Galaxy. I think Galaxy's attacking stack is great. Like, they have the best attack in the league. Like, Puig, Paintsill, and Joveljic maybe, but Joveljic isn't actually that good. But, like, Paintsill, Puig is, like, elite. And then I think for, like, the midfielder, defender, goalkeeper slot, if we're saying Puig's the extra player, I don't necessarily think that should be LA, in my opinion. Like, they just concede too many goals. Most MLS teams concede too many goals, really. Like, there's not that many clean sheets to go around. I know Seattle were horrendous last week, but they have a good little next couple of months coming up. Like, maybe a Seattle defensive stack, LA attacking stack is kind of what comes to mind personally for me. Like, defensively, there's just so many... Yeah, there's just not that many fun things to get into. Like, there's just not that many clean sheets, unfortunately. And so, yeah. That would be, like, my MLS sort of side of things for you. And then as far as Champ Europe goes, mate. Yeah, I mean, what leagues to target? I mean, unless you're going to get, in my opinion, unless you're going to get one of the, the big teams in the Prem, then I don't think it's pointless, because I have, like, your Brightons and your Wolves players. Like, I think you can get by, but it's not, like, the meta, obviously, right? Like, unless you're going to pick up... Right, let me just say one thing. Whatever happens this season doesn't necessarily happen next season, i.e. Leverkusen. Like, Leverkusen won't be Leverkusen next year. They might be still fine, but I don't think they'll do what they've done this year, right? That's obvious. Now, like, someone like a Man City will probably still be a Man City. So, like, you can kind of foresee those things still happening, with certain clubs. Real Madrid will get better. I think if, like, just thinking of a team off the top of my head right now in Champ Europe to get into next season is Real Madrid, in my opinion. If they're getting Mbappe, like, they're going to be ridiculous. Mbappe, Bellingham, Vinny, Rodrigo, like, it's frightening. That is the team. I know they're going to be expensive, but they're going to be the team to get, I think, personally, in Europe for the next couple of years, and obviously getting a new season collection of them. I know you said you are planning on moving into Champ Europe during the off season, so that means you wouldn't get an in-season stack, which is fine. You can still, I know it's not easy just to buy Mbappe, you know what I mean, but, like, Real Madrid are the team to get into, in my opinion. I think they're going to be, like, they just have such a good core group of players for SO5. I really think that's the play. Outside of Real Madrid, like, you're going to want somebody from the Bundesliga or La Liga, in my opinion, from Champ Europe, because they're just so dominant in their team, in their league compared to the other teams. Where, like, in the Prem, obviously you've got Man City and Liverpool, whatever, and Arsenal. But outside of that, like, anyone beats anyone. So if you're not going to buy Arsenal, Liverpool, or City, it just becomes tough in the Prem, in my opinion. As a blanket statement. Again, Liverpool will be different next year. They won't have Klopp. Like, things are changing. Whatever happens this season doesn't happen next season. So, yeah, you definitely have to think about that. Chelsea, it's a gamble, that is. I'm not saying they won't be, but that's not where I'd be putting my money straight off. I'd be putting it into Real Madrid, in my opinion. But, yeah. So, yeah, hope that makes sense, Bonesy. Okay, JJ Lane. So, JJ Lane wants to grow his gallery so I can regularly put out strong lineups all year round in limited and maybe move into rare, but I'm not sure. Okay. Do you think it's a good idea to sell the rare cards because they have a good matchup coming up and try to make profit, or keep them and play them in August? Do you think I should sell some cards and go in early for a bunch of Euro cards to play over the summer? What in general should I be working towards doing next, and what players should I be buying? Okay, so let me have a little swig. No worries at all, Bonesy, mate. Right, yeah. A lot depends on keeping their managers, 100%. 100%. Kennedy says, Madrid 100%, probably the best five-man stack on the game. Courtois, Militao, and then either Davis, Bellingham, Vinny, yeah, or Mbappe. Who doesn't love a double forward? Yeah. Yeah, when you're talking those two players, it's fine for double forwards. But anyone else, I'm anti-double forward most of the time. Okay. So, let's have a look at your rare cards. And then let's have a look at the rare cards. Okay, so it's a mine stack is what I'm seeing here. How much are the So the rare boys are worth 400 quid. Wow. Okay. Is that really 400 quid? Yeah, 170. Yeah. Okay. Do you think it's a good idea to sell these cards because they have a good matchup? I'd probably keep. Well, I say that. Are mine's going down? Because if they go down, they obviously go into contenders. So they're gonna lose value if they go down, right? So do you want to jump ship now? I mean, if people are willing to buy them off you, then maybe, yeah. Because there's no. I know you said they have a good run in. What's their actual run in? Let's have a look. Cologne, Heidenheim, Dortmund, Wolfsburg. I mean, yeah, it's fine. Like, yeah, next game's good. After that, it doesn't get easy. Like Heidenheim aren't no mugs. I mean, yeah, like I don't want to just tell you to just get rid of all your rare cards because, you know, that might not be optimal. But if they're going to go down, and you want to play Champ Europe, that's not going to be possible, is it? Just got in from work. Thanks for that, Harry. Really appreciate it. Change the name from Bog to save the confusion from now on. Love that, mate. Thank you, mate. I hope work was good, mate. I really do. I really appreciate the message, pal. But yeah, JJ, like, obviously you said you want to grow your gallery and you want really good, you know, lineups in limited and maybe move into rare. Like, what have we actually got going on at limited? Like, how good is good? Because if you sold all your rares, let's say you got 400 quid, let's just say. Obviously you got your Liverpool boys, got the Euro boys. Yeah, there's definitely room to get more limiteds here, I would say, and really bulk out limiteds. Like if that's what you want to do, you want to play, you know, many lineups as you want, and you want to, you know, a lot of fun and win often. Then I think, you know, selling the Mines rare stack and putting that into limiteds would definitely equate to more wins at limited, 100%. Do I think it's a good idea to sell the rare cards because they're good? I mean, potentially, yeah. Because if you play them in August, they might be in Bundesliga too, for all we know. Do you think I should sell some cards and go in early for a bunch of Euro cards to play over the summer? Yeah, what do you mean by going early for a bunch of Euro cards to play over the summer? Like, what Euro cards over the summer are going to be playable? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you mean like for the Euros? I think that's what you mean by that. I don't think buying Euro cards for the sake of Euros is a good thing, JJ Lane, to be honest. What in general should I be working towards next, and what players should I be buying? I mean, I'm not going to tell you the exact players you're going to want to buy, but like you've got a really good Liverpool stack, so I think, you know, for the Premier League next season you're going to be sorted. So then it's looking like, okay, well, if I want to play Champ Europe at limited, I'm going to need some more Champ Europe cards, and that can come from, you know, Bundesliga, Prem, whatever, any of the comps. Yeah, I think I would just go really strong in Champ. I would, because the fact that you can play, you know, the Premier League comp, La Liga, Bundesliga, and Champ Europe, there's so many. You can play 12 classic teams there. You know, I think that's what I'd be probably gearing towards. I know you have a few other boys in here, the Arsenal boys and whatever, but I definitely think just go super strong in Champ. Just go all out in Champ. Try and get 12 good lineups out for next season. I would probably look into. Or you either do that, I mean, you can do whatever you want, or another idea is sell those Mines rare cards, bank the money and just keep it until new season, you know, until August runs round and you buy in-season Champ cards then. It's either that or build out loads of classic teams for Champ. It's kind of where I'd be looking at, mate. So yeah, hope that helps. Let me know if there's anything else I need to, or anything else you want answered. But yeah, hope that makes sense, mate. I'm going to get myself another drink, lads. 2 seconds. Sorry, lads. Too much talking. Not enough drinking agua. Okay. So, Mohammed, my brother, I saw you won another jersey, mate. What the hell? That's insane. I hope you can get it shipped to yourself. I don't know if you're watching. Normally you're lurking in the shadows, but I hope you can get that sent over to obviously where you live, because yeah, you've won 2, so lurking per usual. I knew you'd be lurking. I knew it. Okay, goal is to always improve and get good collections, but my penultimate goal is always to get that coveted first place win. 100%. I sold some collections that have been horrid for me and bought some proper top table teams. Perfect. Planning to buy some missing collections to fill out the new La Liga, Bundesliga, and some proper Premier League teams for Classic while they are cheaper in the summer. And then, what do you think I should better? And any comments or opinions are always welcome. Thank you, Harry. No worries at all, mate. Let's have a look what you've been doing then. So I see you picked up Big Jadon. Nice. Oh, you got a little Girona. Bought a few Girona boys. A couple of more Bayern boys. Okay. Oh, Pavlovic. Nice. And then you've got the Pohang Steeler boys. Nice. Nice. Ulsan as well. So 2 K-League. Oh, wow. So you're really set for the K-League special then, Mohammed. I think that's really, really nice position to be in. 2 really good teams there to get yourself stuck into. And then you've got a few contender boys down here. I see Arias, Shagler. And then, yeah, I've seen you, like, we've spoke since you bought these Bayern boys, right? 100%. Oh, yeah, and you've got the San Francisco boys as well. Yeah, okay. Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, for the special weeklies, you're in a really good position. I think you should be really looking to try and squeeze out as much cash from those comps as possible. As well as, obviously, the in-season stuff you've got going on at... how have you been getting on, though, Mohammed? I want to have a little look at... little look at how you've been getting on. Let's have a look. £25, that's really decent. That was a midweek. £127. Wow, mate, that's insane. Mate, you are churning, by the way. Tier 4. £10, okay. 127 is ridiculous. £12, nice. 60 quid, wow. Yeah, this is what, this is what I like to see. Like you've invested heavily in like in-season collections, and you are scooping quite a bit of cash back from it. America, tier 3 there, mate. Tier 1, sorry, 3rd position. Wow, fair play, mate. No, I'm buzzing for you there. That's insane. Really, really impressed. I mean, yeah, mate, you're always like the most straightforward one to really, talk about, I think, because gallery-wise, like, in a weird way, there's not much to say. Like you said, you are looking to build out some more classic teams for the, the champ comps that, like I said, you're allowed 12 now, basically, right, for August. So obviously you have Girona, you'll have Bayern. Let's see who else that'll include. So it'll be Bayern, it'll be Girona, it will be BVB, okay. Obviously Napoli, Madrid, Newcastle, interesting. So you've got 2 Bundesliga there. Maybe, I know you've got Napoli. Maybe another Serie A team. Hopefully they have like Inter maybe next season or something like that. Excuse me, that could maybe help. I definitely think there's merit in that, 100%. But like, you have a really nice core, mate. Genuine, like a really nice core. Like if we're talking elite of elite, then like it's adding a Man City in here, isn't it? Really. Yeah, no, I'm really impressed, mate, with those returns. Really, really impressed. Like that £127 you got in one game week. Your gallery value is £2,300. That's literally 5% in one game week. Like that's ridiculous, isn't it? Really. So yeah, I think it's like, yeah, like you said, improve the champ stuff. You've got enough in-season stuff to see you over in the K-League, the J-League, and MLS to churn you some cash. I think your gallery is really nicely set up, mate. Honestly, like, this is probably the most well set up gallery that we probably have in the gallery reviews as far as like limiteds go, because like it is all in season and I understand that, that helps because you can obviously, win more cash. The access to cash is easier, but it just shows that, it is really possible to churn constant cash. It's not going to happen every week, but you've got a chance every week because of the amount of, teams that you can put out in different places to do so. So, yeah, I think you're in a really nice spot, mate. Sorry, lads, I had a little sneeze there. But yeah, mate, honestly, Mohammed, that's probably it for you, mate. Honestly, I don't really have much to say other than, like, you're doing a wicked job. Just keep adding to those champ collections, obviously, over the summer and stuff, and get yourself ready for August to where you've got 12, really good lineups going out in champ, because you're on your way there, mate. You really are. Thanks, Harry. It's made me really happy to get reassurance of what I'm doing. No, mate, it looks really good. I know I only looked at like 7 or 8 game weeks, but as a sample size, that's not bad, mate. You're on the right tracks there, 100%. 100%. Okay, Rizzle. My goal is very hard to say. I like champions, but on the old Sorare, I won pretty much every week. And now I can't seem to win anything, it feels like. Just need some direction as I'm struggling with it. I don't know if I should just sell out and build my gallery again. I mean, so what we got going on here? Are you all limited, Rizzle? I can't remember. I think you are, aren't you? Yeah, all limited. Okay. I mean, mate, look, like, people... I know many people like you in that sense. Like, you have the best cards, but you're not winning. Like, that is going to be happening from time to time. And unfortunately, I know we try and do it every week, but unfortunately, that does come down to just sometimes bad luck, DMPs, all that jazz, rotations. But ultimately, it's getting the 5 right. I know it's easier said than done. We all know this. But you do have the quality here, Rizzle. Like, it's clear to see. Like, your elite cards are elite. I know there's not pages of them. We've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 5.5 rows of like maybe 6 rows of like really good cards. So what's that? 36 cards. Like, you should be pulling something most weeks. Really. And yeah, the game has definitely gotten harder. Let me just have a look at this. So there, look at that. Shock horror. Defender lets us down. Like if you get your defender right there, you're getting a tier 1, basically. Tier 2, probably easy. 344. Goalkeeper. Striker, Bupenza there. Yeah, Bupenza's fucking me off as well, by the way. He's pissing me off. He's been so bad. Really hard to watch. Yeah, striker there. Striker midfielder there. Yeah, so like, look at that DMP there. That's absolutely murked you, hasn't it? I know you're not going to win much, but it's better. 82 points there from your midfielder gets you, 8 quid. I know it's, again, not crazy, but it's better than nothing. Better than winning nothing, obviously. I mean, yeah, you're getting close, again, forward. Like, you're a player away most of the time. Like, it's not as if you're getting it massively wrong here, or we're getting it massively wrong. It's just fine margin. This game is fine margins most of the time. 5 quid there. Tier 3. Yeah, no, I agree with you, mate. Like, 2 quid. I get it. Like, it's probably demoralized. Like, there's weeks where I don't win, obviously. Nobody wins all... Well, some people win all the time, but, like, that's normal folk. If you're not pranksy, aren't winning all the time. And, yeah, you look at your gallery size, 1.4k. Like, it's a lot of money. And to be winning, like, £2 a week and stuff, obviously, I get it. Like, that's not where we want to be at all. And so, yeah, but, like, I can't seem to put it down to, like, bad cards. Like, I wouldn't put it down to, like, you have bad cards, because you don't. You have good cards. But it's just getting them in the right positions. They need to be scoring well all in the same lineup. And, yeah, sometimes that just doesn't happen. We know that. Kennedy says, Bupenza's been dreadful. One of the biggest letdowns so far in recent memory. Yeah, it's weird, mate, isn't it? It's hard. He's hard to watch. Like, I've spent, like, 300 quid on my Bupenza. He's worth, like, 50 quid. Like, at rare level. Like, it's brutal. Yeah, he just hasn't... He looked unbelievable in pre-season. I was just like, who is this guy? And, ever since the Liga started, it looks like he can't run. Like, he just can't move. It's really strange. But, yeah, I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, this is your gallery. I can't tell you to, like, sell it up and everything's going to be fine if you rebuy. Because I I can't guarantee that. You have good players, Puig, Celentano. Like, there's an MLS win here somewhere. Like, you're not far off. Celentano's back fit. Like Celentano, Puig, Morris, Acosta, and a defender. Like, that team is going to be in and around it most weeks. Amundsen. Like, the team is there. It is. It's just about being patient, I think, and yeah, like obviously it's hard to win in Champ, I get that, but over the MLS, you have the elite of the elite cards there. Kennedy says, when you have the best cards like this and depth, you just don't make the right decisions every week. I face that challenge too. You can't get frustrated and keep going with your plan. Honestly, that's, such a good point, Kennedy. You probably have, a very similar gallery in rare level to this. And I think, like you said, you experience that, week on week. You have the depth, you have all the good cards, but knowing or trying to get right, like you have, Wirtz and Xavi Simons. One scores 60, one scores 100. Like, it's just getting that right. It's getting that 50-50 right every time. It's not easy to do. It's not. Because they both might have great matchups, but one just gets the decisive and one doesn't. And you know what? That's just fucking bad luck / good luck. Like, that is literally what it comes down to, as you know, Kennedy. And I think, if Rizal is in here, I think that's some good words there because, it makes a lot of sense, 100%. So, Rizal, any more, anything you want to know, obviously let me know. But, like Ian says, it will click. You have got to be patient with these things. And I've experienced Sorare, or my experience of winning on Sorare and losing on Sorare comes in waves. Like, I'm on a good streak right now, touch wood. A couple months ago, I was in a bad, like, since the update, I've actually done pretty well. Before the update, I was doing fine, but I wasn't doing, like, as good as I am now. And so, I know it's going to run dry at one point, and then I'm going to have to go cold for a month or two, and then I might get hot again. But for me, it's always worked in waves. I'm not saying that's definitely going to work in that way for everyone, but that's how I've experienced it, and I think you do have to just ride out some of the bad waves because, there is more bad than good, unfortunately, and that's just the nature of the game we play. Excuse me. Okay, Dembois, or Dembois again. I'm not going to know how to pronounce it, but I'm going to say Dembois. Just because there's so many French players at the top of this. Okay, in August, I want to play in Contenders and Challenger Classic. Hopefully, we'll be able to save some cash to buy some in-season then. Makes sense, mate. Wait until then. How do I improve my gallery from now until August? Where are the gaps? Okay, let's have a little look at what you got at Challengers. Okay, I'll just kind of give you where I think, you could improve. But again, like this is looking to next season, isn't it? So it's quite hard to really always gauge that because players move club and, we know all that, right? I don't need to lecture you on that one. But let's go floor height to low. But Dennis just made it in time. Dennis, what's going on, mate? I know you're going to say just call me Dennis. We'll call you Dennis. Not Dembois. Okay. Defenders, obviously we've got the Norwich boys, we've got Excelsior. Really hope Excelsior don't go down because otherwise that is, not ideal, is it, for anyone? Again, more Norwich cards, some really good cards there. Julian Bass, I hope he gets a move if they do go down, and more Excelsior boys. So you're really hoping the Excelsior don't get relegated. Basically, is the goal with challengers. And then for contenders, we have a nice we've got Bastia and Schalke boys there in season. Couple of SPFL boys. Tachibanda, really nice card. I'd probably say you're going to need another mid or two here. Probably got like one really good mid. You're probably going to need, like if you're going to want to play multiple lineups, you're definitely going to need more mid depth, 100% in contender. Just from a glance there. Koga, nice. Drezovic's been pretty good. Defense, you're fine. I would say mid is definitely where I would be improving. Ooh, Tanny in season. That's really nice. 100% mids, mate. I would definitely look into improving your midfield contingency. 100% in contender. But that would be the gap. But like, is there much point doing that now? Really, maybe. Like on a budget, I wouldn't be like splashing crazy amounts of money to where it's like affecting the budget in August, if that makes sense, that you're going to use for in-season cards. But I definitely think, a couple of mids wouldn't go amiss there. I really do. And maybe a defender or two. Forwards look pretty good. You only need 2 or 3 good forwards, I would say, if you're playing 2 or 3 lineups or whatever. But definitely more mid and defender depth there. 100%. And then Just going back to challenges. Yeah, I mean, Norwich are pretty safe. I don't think much is going on with them. As same for Watford. I don't know what is going on with Vitesse. I know they've been they've lost a load of points, haven't they? So yeah, keep an eye on that one. Norwich, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's the Excelsior. It all lies on Excelsior, basically. We really need them to not get relegated. I'm in the same boat. I have a few Excelsior players. This Goodman's a player, by the way. Very, very good. But yeah, when I say, you know, get better cards, in that sense, like for Contender, you don't need to go spending crazy, you know, £1 and £2. I'm sure you can get half-decent players of like this, you know, Goodman's quality in Contender for £1, £2, £3. Like, I'm not saying go out and buy £30 limiteds for the sake of a couple of games, because there's just no point, right? There's not that many games left. So yeah, mate, hope that makes sense. Pretty straightforward. Like, I don't think there's much really to say other than that. Of course, any other questions, please do let me know, mate. But yeah, we are going to move over to Adriano. And oh, the O is a 0. Interesting. So it's Adrian, not Adriano. The more you know. Better to bring in some good scores, right? Yeah, 100%, Dennis. 100%. James, what's going on, mate? Yeah, I do have a few midweek lineups. I'll get them out in a minute. Have you got any midweek lineups, James? West Ham aren't playing, are they? No, but you have a few other Prem cards. I'm sure you have a few lineups out. But yeah, Dennis, 100%. Bring in some good scorers, but just on a budget. Like, you don't need to be spending crazy amounts for the next couple of game weeks. You know what I mean? Because we don't have that much. But let me just show James the midweek masterclass that we got going on. So this is a bit of a training lineup. This is fine. I mean, it should have hopefully 5 starters if McCarthy's still in goal. But yeah, it's not that good of a lineup. This is a box collector at best. This is a 4-man effort in Division 4. This is another 4-man effort in Division 4 in season. This is my Premier League lineup. Bart, Dunk, Diaz, Sarabia, Chan in Division 2 in season. This is my Under-23 Super Air lineup, which I do have high hopes for, to be fair. I really hope this could do something. I've gone pretty... Well, I've prioritised it for this midweek. Gone pretty strong. This is a box collector at best. Cap 240. I hope... I'm trying to hit the lowest threshold here. Avstan probably doesn't start. The rest probably do, so I'm hoping I can scrape it. But yeah, nothing crazy. This is probably a 4-man effort for the lowest threshold as well. Box collector... 220 just training and then more training. So basically under 23 and Premier League for me, mate. Not too much going on. Liverpool back to Adidas. Yeah, I saw that. Nike or Adidas. Ooh, I'm an Adidas. Bart Masterclass incoming. Please, Bart. Give us a little 100. That'd be nice. Okay. Adrian. Focus on Champ Rare. If this is your gallery, which players would you get next? Gaps, quick tips on your thought process when building lineups for every game week. My strategy has been get the best players possible and focus on quality versus quantity. From there, I try to win at least a card every game week and build gallery depth from there. So, Adrian, your gallery, I know I hate to bring it back, well, not hate, but I'm bringing it back to Kennedy as well. Like, your galleries are very similar. I don't know if you've seen Adrian's gallery, Kennedy, and if you're still here, but, like, it is just very similar to yours on a little bit of a smaller scale. He obviously has the Liverpool boys. He has Mbappe, to be fair, which is crazy, but, like, yeah, lots of Liverpool boys, Mbappe, a couple of Milan boys in there. Obviously, Jude, Grimaldo, Herdecki, Gross, Luiz. Like, there's some really good players in here. And you're going to fall victim to Kennedy's thing in that, like, you have such good players, you end up, like, picking the 60 over the 80. Like, it's going to happen. Like, that is unfortunately gonna happen in your lineups because you have such good depth. Both players, if it's out of, Kennedy says, yeah, minus the Arsenal boys, were very similar, 100%. I'm incredibly jealous of that Mbappe. Yeah, the Mbappe's a tasty one. I think he's had him for a while, to be fair, haven't you, Adrian? But yeah, mate, obviously Mbappe is going to be huge next season for Real Madrid. I think maybe getting a few Real Madrid boys in to complement Mbappe is probably the play, I would say, if we're talking like improving. As far as processes go with lineup building, like, yeah, it's hard for me to do that without the game week actually, being live, if that makes sense. But, I definitely think getting a few Real Madrid boys in is the play. Maybe a Courtois, Militao defensive stack. Get a Vinny to go with Mbappe. I think they could be great. You already have Bellingham, but adding a Vinny in there could be ridiculous. You'd have a full Real Madrid stack at that point, wouldn't you? If you had Courtois and Militao. I'm not saying that's easy to do, but that would probably be one of the goals I would have if this was my gallery right now. So yeah, no, I think you're in a good position, mate. You're considering your gallery's worth 6.5k on paper, but you have like such good depth. It's ridiculous. Such good sort of quality. I'm not saying you don't have depth, but you have just like incredible quality to where, yeah, these type of players, if you can get them right, should win you a card a week, with the matchups, and it just should happen. And, that should probably be the goal. And it is. So, yeah, that I think that should continue. And, yeah, no, I think you're in a good position, mate. I would definitely try and build out some more Real Madrid boys to complement Mbappe and Jude. And, yeah, mate, just take it from there. I don't think there's much else to really say, mate, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, any more questions, Adrian? I really do appreciate your time, mate. And if you're still in here, hello. Okay, just Mike it. I don't know if Mike's still in here, but Mike has been in here for the last 2 hours or so. So, Mike, I really do appreciate you being here. If you're not here anymore, that's fine. The show will go on. But, yeah, obviously, if you're not here, then just listen to this back. But, yeah, this will be an interesting one. So Mike's probably got, Mike and Didi. Oh, Mike is here. Love that. Excited to listen to what you think. Yeah, Mike and Didi have very similar gallery valuations. I think that they're off the top of my head. I think, yeah, you're around a very similar roster valuation, in the member section. So, yeah, it's just good to have some big boys in here. It's really fun to kind of, yeah, trying to put myself into your shoes sometimes. And, yeah, so Mike's goal is to compete in EPL times 6. So that would be in season. Yeah, it has to be 3 in season 3 classic. And then you obviously want to play La Liga and Bundes plus champ. Yeah, all in season classic. Yeah, very long way to go. 100%. But that's the goal. So that would be, Jesus, yeah. How many lineups could you put out there? It'd be 18, wouldn't it? No, it'd be more than that. It'd be 24, technically, wouldn't it? You could play 24, 6 of Bundesliga champ, La Liga, EPL. Yeah, 24. Okay, where do you think I should add more depth? What are some of the guys you consider selling and reinvesting? What would you go first, Bundes or La Liga? Okay, interesting. That's some nice questions there. Okay, let's get into this then. Let's get into first question. What do I think, or where do I think I should add more depth? So maybe let's do it by, let's just do EPL first, right? Goalkeepers. So next season, you're going to have Pope, Edison, Rea, Martinez. Strakosha, I don't know what's going on with him. Let's just say he leaves. So you've got 4 goalkeepers there. Obviously, if you want to play 6, you're going to need 2 EPL goalkeepers to add to that. So that would obviously make it 6. But then, yeah, no, I was just thinking then you're going to need, because you're only going to need 3 in-season cards from Premier League next season for super rare. So, yeah, having 6 old goalkeepers isn't going to be the end of the world. Even if you buy 2 new in-season in August, that probably helps you, doesn't it? Salah super rare for 1k, absolute steal. Oh, wow, is that what you got Salah for? That's insane. So, yeah, obviously you're going to need 2 more goalkeepers, realistically. Whether those are in-season or not, obviously it doesn't... I mean, it obviously matters, but it kind of doesn't as well. Defense. I'm looking at Porro, Gabriel, but I don't love him. Akanji, Diaz. Colwell, when he's fit, obviously could score really well if Chelsea are better next season. I'm looking at, Colwell, Diaz, Akanji, Porro, Gabriel. I mean, you just have to look at the L15s. Diaz and Akanji obviously well ahead. Obviously play for a superior team. They're going to have, probably better L15s. Gabriel's a weird one. Him and Saliba are great, but on Sorare they're just not that good, are they? It's a weird one. I like Daniel Munoz. I think he'll score well in certain matchups next season. I love Porro as a player. Obviously, Spurs should get better next season. Fofana being fit could be a big a big addition to Chelsea if he can stay fit. I love him. I just don't know if he's going to be able to, if his body's going to allow that. I definitely think there's room for defenders. I definitely think, like, you know, pick your defender. I mean, like, do you add another Man City boy in there, really? Like, do you add a Stones? I know it's so hard to get the rotation right is the problem with City. I think you did have I swear you had a Van Dijk at one point. Long road to go, but that's the idea. I think Salah stays, hence why I picked him up at that price. Would you go for, Robertson or Kyle Walker? All over 30s for this weekend. I'd go for Robertson, personally. They're both great players, but I would definitely go Robertson just because he has the sets as well. 100% go Robertson. As far as midfielders go, Rice, Rodrigo, Bruno, Phil. So this is where I think you're, like, really strong. Like, those 6 midfielders are just uber strong. I love Enciso, but, like, he's not in that category. I know Szoboszlai is going through a weird spell, but, like, you've got 5 absolute smashes there. Like, it doesn't really get much better in midfield in the Premier League. Like, you've got that relatively covered. I think Maddison adds into there personally. Like, if you can get a Maddison in, Mike, that would be ridiculous. I think that covers you in midfield. I know you're going to need, you know, double mid a lot of the time. So having more mids is going to be, you know, optimal. But having that amount of, like, elite ones, like 6 elite, works. You're probably going to need, like, 9 or 10 in general, aren't you, if you want to get to 6 lineups. But I don't think you need, like, 10 elite. You probably need, like, 6 or so, and you have 5 already. So you just picked up Salah. Great sort of price that is. It's ridiculous. I have Guimaraes on my... Guimaraes on my side. Offers have been sent. Yeah, I love Bruno Guimaraes. I think he's absolutely incredible. It looks like he is going to move, though. I still think he'd probably score pretty well. Even maybe McAllister super rare. McAllister could be a fun one. Yeah, Kennedy says, where did Bruno end up? Yeah, Bruno ends up somewhere, doesn't he? He's not staying at Newcastle, it doesn't look like. But as far as strikers go, I know you're trying to sell a few of these, but yeah, let's just argue, you know, Salah, Alvarez, but you got to worry about the rotation. Gakpo, again, rotation. Tony, if he moves somewhere favourable, could be really, really fun. Like, if Tony moved to Arsenal, let's say, that could be really fun. Dwight's good on certain matchups. Obviously, you've got Haaland. Forward's a weird one, isn't it, in the Prem? Like, you're probably missing a Son here, if we're being honest, aren't you, as far as, like, reliability goes. Son, Maddison, I think super rares are definitely a miss here. If we're talking, like, you know, elite of the, you know, the elite of the elite. And then Bundesliga, I mean, yeah, you know, as far as where would I go first, Bundes or La Liga? I think it's got to be La Liga, in my opinion. Like, you've got quite a few good Bundesliga cards here, but let's be honest, Alphonso Davies moves, so your best defender basically goes. Yeah, you've got Musiala, which is amazing. Appender, like, you still have a good lineup here, 100%, but I think I would personally, like, if I had the funds just to do whatever I kind of wanted, I'd be going into La Liga personally and trying to get, like you already have your Vinnies, you know, you have a nice core of Real Madrid boys, Camavingas, Rodrigos, Yamals, like, I'd be looking here, trying to get maybe a Militao Super Rare in, would definitely be my next thing, knowing that you have Courtois. Obviously, you have Unai Simon as well, Oblak. You have way more goalies here already. I definitely think La Liga has to be the play. As far as, yeah, selling cards, I mean, that probably takes us into our last portion of the questions. Let's have a look. High to low. I mean, like, in a weird way, like, I don't blame you for trying to sell. I know you've probably just set Haaland at, like, a, not a stupid price, but, you know, an unrealistic price for now. Or maybe not, I don't know. But, yeah, like, Haaland's one of those ones where, like, I'd rather a Son and a Maddison Super Rare over a Haaland Super Rare, in my opinion. And so, like, I don't really blame you for trying to do something like that. Like, players like Liao, like, I know he could move to PSG or whatever, but, like, because they don't have, like, their own, like, you could only play him in Champ, let's argue. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but realistically, I think you're going to want players from Prem, La Liga, Bundesliga to make up your Champ team as well, because they can all intertwine, whereas, like, French League and, what's the other league that wouldn't be in that? French and Italian League players obviously can't intertwine in the 3, you know, segregated leagues. So, yeah, I definitely think that needs to be taken into consideration. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to sell them all, but I do think being able to be flexible with the 3 and then, you know, leftovers going into Champ or whatever way you want to play it. I think that needs to be the way I think you probably want to go into things. I really, really do. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. Well, that can't be all, is it? Why am I? Oh, that's just forwards? No. Confused now. No, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I'd be playing it. I really would. Agree, I have listed fairly above last price. That's fine. That's fine, Mike. Why not? Goalkeeper's much stronger in La Liga. That seems logical build. Yeah, 100% Kennedy. Don't mind where he goes. Just fit scoring system. Hopefully EPL or La Liga. Yeah, I think Bruno stays in the Prem personally. But yeah, hope that makes sense, Mike. But yeah, you've got a lovely base there, mate. It's just filling out those few little bits and bobs like the Courtois and, the Militaos and maybe a Maddison, a Son, or, there's definitely bits to move around, like we obviously highlighted. But yeah, definitely keep an eye on the whole, like, Bundesliga, La Liga, Premier League players fitting into Champ, and, like, that'll be your rotation rather than having, like, Serie A and French League players. I don't know. That's kind of something I think about. Yeah, Lamin Super Rare is ridiculous, isn't it? No worries at all, Mike. Absolute pleasure, man. I just appreciate you being part of the member stream. I really, really do, mate, honestly. I really, really do. Yeah, the Lamin Super Rare is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm just going to check if there's any lineup news out. Like in the Belgium League, maybe. We're probably 20 minutes too early, actually. Yeah, I don't think we've got much yet, have we, lads? Anyone got any Belgium League stuff? Like news? Not news, but you know what I mean. Okay. Ash Hales is up next. Ash is Halesy, isn't he? Halesy. Is that Halesy by here? Excuse me. No, that's not Halesy. Sorry. Is that Halesy? Am I being stupid? No, I can't spell, lads. Just doing my head in. Mike remembered to have Gluch. Oh yeah, Gluch Super Rare for Champ next season. Yeah, he probably is on the move, isn't he? Best community to be a part of. The time and dedication you put into is absolutely worth it. Thank you very much. Oh, Mike, honestly, that means a lot to me. It really, really does. Like, genuinely means so much to me. Okay, Hazley. Want to move into Contender Rare, however, not got any players. Trying to build up rewards. Cash from my limited. Or Contender Rare, sorry. Just any advice on how to start with the rares, really. Over the summer, worth going in all in on rare European players as cheaper, or make it now and get a couple of game weeks out of them. I'd probably wait, Ash, to be honest, mate. I would wait until all the utilities out of them. You'll get bottom bargain price on the European cards that you want to pick up. Obviously, contenders are going to be the cheapest out of all European cards, really. But yeah, just go in and try and get yourself a stack of some sort. Doesn't have to all be the same collection or whatever, but yeah, go into maybe Bundesliga 2 or La Liga 2, somewhere where maybe you have a footprint already. I see you have some Austrian cards. Just maybe try and emulate what's worked at limited for you in rare. As far as players personnel go. Obviously, I see you have the boy Arbila, the legend. Yeah, that's kind of what I would get into. You got the Oviedo boys. Oh, Camarasa, Cardiff legend. Novelty says you have to be... Yeah, you do have to be a member, Novelty, to have a gallery review. Mikey Baston. Just Mike says, ooh, that would be amazing. I have a Leipzig stack running. He'd fit right in. Was going to ask Harry if I should get a Van der Vaart. Yeah, I'd probably try and get yourself a Van der Vaart, Mike, 100%. If you are looking to play under 23s / Bundesliga / whatever. Yeah, try and get yourself a Van der Vaart, 100%. I'd be shocked if he doesn't walk in to being Leipzig's number one, in my opinion. And yeah, obviously unbelievable age and all that jazz. 100%. Okay. Back to Ash. Yeah. The transition up to rares isn't easy for like limited galleries, but your gallery's worth nearly $1,000. Like, you've got a decent amount of cards. Obviously you have the rares already, or a lot of them, not a lot of them, but a decent amount. But yeah, I would definitely do, if you are looking to pick up more rare European cards, do it whilst there's no utility for them, because that's where people are going to be trying to offload them for the MLS, Brazilian, K-League, J-League, you name it, cards. So yeah, I definitely think that has to be the play. Ash Hells, any more questions, mate? Please do let me know. But I hope that makes sense, mate. Next up, we've got Drake. So Drake doesn't really have any specific goals, just trying to enjoy playing and win along the way. I really like playing the 23s and can't wait to play 3 lineups. Amazing, mate. I love that. Really, just what areas you think I need to strengthen? I have like $300-400 deposited in Sorare at the minute. I'm not really sure where to go with it. Basically, just any ideas to improve my gallery. I'm strongest in under 23 and have 2 champ team collections in Strasbourg and Chelsea. Have a full Charlotte FC collection and some other MLS guys here and there. Just like to hear your opinion on where I think I can improve. Thanks as always, Harry. No worries at all, Drake. Okay. So, MLS stuff. I know you've obviously got the Charlotte boys. But if we're being honest, like, to win in MLS, you're going to need some of those, like, meta cards. Like, it's going to be very hard to just win with Charlotte cards, really. And so, I'm not saying you can't win partially with them, like the defender, goalkeeper, whatever. But you are going to need to add a bit of, a bit of strength around them. I know you have a few cards here. I'm just seeing Atencio, and you've got Brady. Obviously, a bar that plays for Charlotte, but you know what I mean. Like, you definitely do have pieces. But I think if anyone's playing MLS, you definitely need some of those MLS midfielder smashers. You need your Rusnaks, cheap as chips, Santi Rodriguez, Heel. Like, you do need a few of them. You just simple as. Mikey says, let's get that like button hit for Harry. Oh, I appreciate that, Mike. I did ask earlier, but clearly no one listened to me, and I know they're going to listen to you. So, I appreciate that, Mike. I really, really do, mate. We've got 70 in here as well still, which is crazy. Still, Trippin disagrees. What's happened with Trippin? Well, Trippin don't like you. What's all that about? Why doesn't he like you? But yeah, my first thing, Drake, is go and get yourself some MLS midfielder smashers. Simple as. You've got the forwards, really. Abardo will be pretty good on his day and whatever. Like, Westwood's fine, but like, you do need a couple of good mids in there for me. To bolster to make the Charlotte FC stack worthwhile, if that makes any sense. So that kind of covers that one. You have 2 champ collections, obviously Strasbourg and Chelsea, great. And then under 23. I'd be looking to just, if you are looking to play 3 under 23 teams, Drake, for next season, start buying under 23 players for next season. Why not? As soon as the European season's done, start sort of planning out, who your 2 other teams going to be alongside your Palmers and Gallaghers and Enzo, whatever. Like, definitely, if you are looking to play 3, go scope out who your 2 other goalkeepers are going to be in under 23 or, whatever. I think that alongside buying a few MLS smashers for now to make the Charlotte FC stack a bit more worthwhile. Gosh, Trippin disagrees. You can't win anything with Charlotte cards. Sorry, yeah. I mean, you can at Super Rare level, maybe, but at Limited it's tough. Ahead of him in the Limited collection ATM, like, but he will catch me in the jersey mints. That's funny. Yeah, but, Drake, I forgot you are. Well, I not forgot, but I didn't realize you were still here. But yeah, does that make sense, Drake? Like, start working on those 3 under 23 teams now. That's kind of where I'd be planting my seeds over the next few weeks, whilst European players are going to be as cheap as they're going to ever be, really, because they're just not playing football, right? But yeah, definitely pick up a few MLS mids. As far as under 23s go, just have a look at what we've got cooking. So yeah, we've got the Tillmans in there as a bit of a stray, but good play, obviously. Strasbourg's been really good. Some of those under 23s have done well, haven't they? Brady is obviously one of the goalkeepers for the summer. I can get behind that. Palmer, yeah. There's some good cards here, but I just still think just keep adding to that if you're gonna want to play 3. Simple as. Just not sure if I should try and buy champ under 23 players so I can run them there too. Yeah, it's not a bad thing to be able to do that, but they need to be elite. is what I'm going to get at. Like, they need to be Jude. You know what I mean? Like, they need to be the good ones. Because the good ones are able to play in champ as well. There's no point just being in champ for the sake of being in champ. They need to be players that can do damage in both, if that makes sense. I only have Tillman. Yeah, no, Tillman's sick. Like, I was just looking at, just at the bits you had there. If anyone has any Portuguese league doubts, please feel free to ask. I appreciate that, Nada. I appreciate that, mate. Yeah, man, it always makes sense. Love the reviews, as always. No worries at all, Drake. No worries at all. Do we have in-season champ in auctions until August? I don't know, Addy. I don't know, mate. Good question. I assume so, but I honestly don't know. I really don't. Somebody might be able to tell you otherwise, but I'm not too sure. Cameron, I don't know if you're here, mate. I know you were here earlier, but if you are here still, great. Okay, Cameron, no real review. Just some tips on what players I could move into and what comps I should focus on. Should I sell my Courtright players as it looks like they're getting relegated, or do I keep hope? Do I keep hope and hope they move? I would expect the better players like Kadri and Isaac Davis to leave. Yeah, Isaac's on loan, so Isaac won't stay there, I don't think. Kadri probably gets a move to kind of, give you my 2 cents on those two. What's Isaac worth now? £5, fair play. I mean, yeah, if you can double your money on Isaac Davis, I probably would. We did last season, Davis said. Okay. Yeah, we probably do then this season. Excuse me. I mean, your majority, I know you are basically all challenger, aren't you? From what I remember. Maybe you have a couple of contenders. Yeah, you have a couple, but nothing crazy, just roost for 220. But yeah, obviously, you're balls deep in contenders. I tried to get my words out there, I just couldn't. And so, yeah, I think it could, should probably stay that way. Realistically, there's no point swaying anywhere else right now. Try and do what you can in contenders, and just work your way up the contenders in the challengers ladder. In that, like, the teams you have players from right now, teams you have players from right now are like fine. Like 20 and Ghent are probably the best two teams. Maybe Go Ahead as well, but like they're not the creme de la creme of players or teams in those leagues, which is fine because we're doing this on a budget. But I think just work your way into grabbing bits from some of the elite teams, like grabbing a Jordan Teze maybe if he doesn't leave PSV and pluck him out of PSV, but you don't buy everyone else. Like try and work your way up the sort of challengers ladder. Like you're never going to win every week with mediocre cards at the end of the day. You're going to need star rares and tier 1s sprinkled in somewhere to really give yourself a good chance. And I'm not saying that's easy to do and just go buy. Yeah, Mike says, I don't think many people are going to buy Courtright players bar those. Yeah, I agree with you, Mike. I do. Yeah, they're the only two, if anything. But, like, he's £2. You might as well keep him and hope he moves to a good team or a better team that does have utility. But, like, yeah, £1. Like, there's just no point selling the rest of them, I wouldn't say. I'd say rinse their utility until, till the end of the season. And, yeah, like, it's one of them where... focus on challenges, focus on in-season chal towards the end of the season, or until the end of the season, sorry. As well as 240, I think, don't underestimate the power of 240s, the $2, the $5, or the $8 can add up over the next month and a half to help you, gear towards the new European season. But definitely work your way into some of these, like, more elite challenger players, because they're going to really help you next season, because there's going to be so much competition in that, classic contenders. Classic chal, like there is now, but even more so because everything's old season. Then that kind of is probably the play for me, mate. For you. So yeah, please do let me know what you think, and yeah, we'll move on to the Vols, baby. It's Nick season. Come on then. So focus on in-season contender until European season runs out. Next year, I plan on playing classic contender. Makes sense. So just they transition over nicely. Challengers, a little bit all over. I'd like to run a classic and in-season lineup that's competitive over this summer. I lean towards under 23 players if possible. I definitely plan on continuing to play that. Okay. Any suggestions for a challenger summer goalkeeper / defensive stack? I've got Messi, Amada, Gil, Buanga, but I feel like I should take advantage of them with a good defender and a keeper. Thanks. So, Nick is asking the almighty question, like who to buy for defensive stacks in the MLS, and we'll definitely do a little scout here because it's just a tough question to answer. right now. In that, like, most MLS teams just don't keep clean sheets. And I know it's not all about that because obviously goalkeepers can get AA, right? Which is fine. Like, I think Stuve has probably been the one that, like, have stood out as far as AA goes, keepers-wise. How am I going to do this? Let's go by... Sorry. Like, let's have a little walk through these players. So, I mean, Celentano's the one you probably want. Like, I know he's injured, which is probably the best time to buy him. I know he's expensive. But, like, I know Cincy haven't been amazing, but they've been fine. He's under 23 as well, so it works in both, Nick. I think from the bat, I think Celentano, Miazga, Celentano, Miles Robinson, probably one of the better ones. Mike says NYC have been actually really good recently, which is a bit of a shock. I rate Matt Freese. I think he's good. But what defender do you really put with him? I don't know who's really scored that well. Like, they're just average scores. Like, look at that. Nobody scores above 60 in a clean sheet. Like, it just ain't. That's the problem. It's just a Santi show at New York City, which I'm not mad about. Like, I love Santi, but you know what I mean? Like, they just don't have a defender that you'd really play with. With, like, Cincy, again, I know their scores aren't great defender-wise, but, like, Miazga can hit 70s. Miles Robinson can hit a 70. And I'm not saying those New York boys definitely can't, but I think it's just a bit more likely with those Cincy boys. Outside of that, I mean, what else have we got? You don't want to touch Dallas. They don't have any defenders that could do that. If New York Red Bulls, like if John Tolkien pulls his finger out of his arse, then he might be the defender / goalie stack you want to get involved in. I know he hasn't been great this season, but he is normally pretty good. Mike says, yeah, RSL. Who's the defenders from? I know you obviously got McMath in goal. Who we saying scores well in defence? Let's have a little look. Oh, yeah, they have, to be fair. Yeah, you're right. Wow. I know that's against Chicago, but yeah, fair play. That's some decent scoring, that is. Yeah, RSL look pretty tasty. Brian Oviedo. Who is this guy, by the way? Oh, right. He hasn't scored. Yeah, it's only one good game. Is that an anomaly game? I think Oviedo's... I mean, I remember Brian Oviedo in the Prem and stuff. Yeah, it doesn't play all the time, so you're not buying any of those. What about Brody? I think is pretty solid, isn't he? Yeah. Excuse me. Brody's fine. Like, his peak's like 30 AA. Not bad. But that's like... Outside of Wagner and Brooks Lennon, you ain't going to get defenders that are going to just walk to 50 AA. I still stand by Glad and McMath. Yeah, fair enough. Just catching up on the chat. Would love to see what the chat think. Put one in, Chal, if you're holding back. Oh, nice, yeah. Let Mike know in the chat, lads, what you're doing. DD, what's going on, mate? Only been able to join now. Look forward to watching back the next 2 hours. I kept my name off the list until now. Until next month, once I've done more changes. Sounds good, DD. No worries at all, mate. Yeah, I mean, Glad's decent, isn't he? Where's Glad been? Or where is he? Sorry. In general, is he still alive? Is he? He just didn't play on the weekend. Yeah, Glad's pretty solid. Glad's got more 30s in him than the rest of them, from what I've saw there. Glad McMath probably, at a budget works. I know Blake's injured, isn't he? I think, but like Blake Wagner's the obvious one as far as like defender peaks go. Stuver's been okay. It's just not that many good defenders like in the league. They're just not. They score that well, And then the other one is Scholter Amundsen, probably. Scholter's obviously under 23, which helps. Amundsen's really good. Like, he can walk to like 30 AA quite comfortably. Like 70 AA is just ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm ending with Amundsen, Scholter, Glad McMath, and then Celentano, Miazga / Robinson. Nick would be my suggestions, mate. Okay, next up we've got Stan the Man. Main focus is on to try get into rares instead of limited from August onwards, Contender and Chal. What is the best way to do this? Sell most limited items outside of the stacks or keep them? And the rare cards, is it more convenient to play with stacks or not? Is it more convenient to play with stacks? It's a tough question to answer, if I'm being honest. Let's just see what you've got going on first. So we've got Valeri, nice. Quintero. Rajaman, pretty good. Sandler, sorry. YBG. Silicon. Okay, so you've got a nice little NEC boys for, yeah, so similar to Jonathan in the NEC Challengers collection. Okay. I think for stacking purposes, I'm somebody that likes a goalkeeper and defender. I'm not too bothered about midfielders and forward stacking personally. I think the correlation there is just it's not as obvious, right? Like a striker doesn't have to be assisted by the the midfielder all the time. Whereas if there's a clean sheet going, the defender's guaranteed it if the goalie's got it. You know, there's no if, buts, or maybes with that one. Sorry, I'm just checking my lineups. Lafise is in for Standard Liège. Let's go. Sorry, lads, I'm getting a bit distracted there. But yeah, so on the stacks, defender, goalkeeper is where I draw the line. I'm not against 5-man stacks, but I don't like them personally. I think goalkeeper defenders is kind of goalkeeper defender is kind of my peak as far as how, stackings go. And then, yeah, as far as what's the best way to do this, Salmos, yeah, so what is your roster value looking like? 570 quid, okay, and then rares. Okay, so you got a lot more in rares, that's good. That's a nice little, Hoidmakers, nice. Barrera. No, you've got some good cards. I think in contenders and stuff, I don't think stacking's really where I'd be doing that. And then as far as limited go, so you've got main focus is to try and move into rare instead of limited. What's the messages? I mean, it depends how much fun you're having at limited. Like, if you want to try and sell out of them all and go balls deep into rare, like that's not something that I'd be like, why would you do that? Like you've got quite a few rares already. Only adding to that is only going to improve your chances of winning at rare. It just depends on like how much you're going to miss not playing limited is basically my question to you, Stan. And if it's not much, then it could be worth jumping ship. That's crazy. Matson's 3 quid. That's mental. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on that. Again, it's not easy just to sell all these limited. Like, you probably have quite a few limited cards. Let me see how many exactly that is. Yeah, 185 limiteds. So yeah, it's one. Compared to wanting to push up in rare, because you do have a nice base at rare as well. So it's not as if like you're going in blind with rare. Like, you already have good cards at rare level. So yeah, hope that makes sense, Dan. Let me know if you have any more questions. And we're going to move on to Die Rich. We've got Die Rich, we've got Shiforical, we've got Mark, we've got Kennedy, Ian, and then Sorare. And then obviously we've got, but we've got David Taylor as well, who isn't on the list, but will be on the list. Rewards come out in 27 minutes, and I'm not streaming for it, but I am making a rewards video, so I will finish streaming around 2 o'clock basically on the dot. So yeah, we should get those done in that time. Like, we're not asking for too much there. I'm just checking some of my lineups to see who's in and who's out. No, not really. Okay, yeah, so Stan doesn't want to get... Oh, if you don't want to get a limited Stan, that's completely fine, mate. That's just... Yeah, it's all needs and wants, isn't it, at the end of the day? And that's kind of... Yeah, how it's gonna fall. But yeah, I appreciate you, Stan. Or does that mean like you didn't have any more questions, maybe? Sorry, Stan, I maybe misinterpreted what that no not really meant. Okay, Direct. Continue playing with MLS cards through the summer whilst building on my gallery in readiness for the European season in August. Looking at my gallery, where would you strengthen next in rare? Okay, nice, straightforward question. Ooh, you've picked up some nice in-season Philly cards. Nice, mate. Love to see that. Let me go high to low. So you've got Danny Ward, but that's Is he that expensive technically? Yeah, so Stuver's in there, obviously. We've got Brennan Johnson. Let's do this by... I want to do this by contenders and Chal. Because that is going to be where... So we have one goalie. Maybe turns into two if Danny Ward ever gets a shot. Defenders, I'm happy with Brooks Lennon. I don't think you really need much improvement there with Elliott and Julio in reserve. Midfield, Brooks and Maya's been really good. Nice. Atua's been good. Excuse me, no bugs, Jean Mario. So I love Maya and I love Atua, but they do lack a peak in my opinion. Having somebody like a Santi, maybe like a Rusnak. Excuse me, I've got hiccups. Maybe could be of interest for you, Dave. Up front, Saloy's fine. I like Saloy. O'Brien's fine as well. And obviously more Isaac Davis in the European stuff. But I definitely think adding like a punchy mid in there, like a captainable mid, a Rusnak at home to whoever, a Santi at home, like somebody like that can really change things. Stan said it was about the questions. No worries, Stan. Sorry, mate. I thought I misinterpreted what you said. So yeah, that's kind of how I would deal with your challenges. Contenders? I can't remember. Yeah, you do have contenders. So Liam Kelly, hopefully Motherwell stay up. Gartman, obviously Aberdeen. Okay. Monchu's nice. Splitter. You have some really good mids here. You have punchy mids, which I can get behind. And you have strikers that can kind of score goals on their day. Miovski and Maeda. And Gartman's actually a really decent defender. I probably wouldn't touch contenders, honestly. I don't think there's much need in that. And then for champs, you've got Kaminsky, which will probably turn into a challenger keeper. So you do have a decision to... I know most of these are like Welsh players, really. But like you do have a decision to make in that, like, what are you going to do about champ if Kaminsky isn't there? Even an Evander could fit nicely if you could afford it. Yeah, Evander as well. Evander would work easily in there as well, 100%. So yeah, I definitely think about what you're going to do with champ. Like, are you going to continue playing champ if Kaminsky moves to the champion? You know, goes to the championship. Definitely think that's something to think about, Dave. But yeah, let me know if that all makes sense, mate. And we can kind of take it from there. Shaforical is up next. If you have any time, won't have time to come into the live. Not sure. I don't know what state my gallery is, but I have a feeling I have top players, but I simply cannot win anything. Okay, let's see what's going on with Shaforical. So, Human Son, we've got Martinez, Nico, Simons, Kavisha, Ada Morris, Toblason, Brian Brobby, Van Dijk, Watkins, Leno, Gluch. You've got some really nice under-23s, as we know. So that's somewhere that you know, I think you should be winning maybe. But again, like I said, under-23s is a weird place right now. Like, it's still a weird place in that they're global, right? So it's just tough to win there. So many different players pop off at different times, and matchups are just lopsided a lot of the time, and you just can't do much about that. So that's kind of that. Prem-wise, like, you've got some really good Prem cards. Like, again, this just comes down to what we've already mentioned. It's just like it's the Kennedy curse. We're gonna call it the Kennedy curse. I've trademarked it now. So it's now called the Kennedy curse. When you have like really good cards and you're pretty condensed, but you just don't get it right all the time, which everyone does. But I think if you have really good cards, you just expect to get it right all the time. But that's just not the case. So it is now going to be called the Kennedy curse. So Shaforical is in here, which is great. Just looking at your Prem cards, Shaforical, and like you have the pieces there, as you know. It is just getting them right on the right game week, which again is easier said than done. Kenzie says, "Hey, at least I can tell my family I'm known for something." That's class. That's so funny. But you know what I mean. Like, I do think it is a curse of some sort. Like in that, you know, it's the Xavi Simons and the Wirtz contemplation. They're both at home. They're both going to score above 60, but who scores 100? That is where this game is won and lost. Those are the fine margins of this game. I know what I have. It just is just so stupid. No, I get you, mate. Like I do. You have some really good depth. It's just, it is going to click. It's one of them again. This game is about riding the waves. You ride the waves of DMPs one week, and then next week you win the comp. Like, those are the type of cards you have. And it's just about staying in the race. If you remove yourself from the race, you're never going to win, as we obviously know, right? I'm stating the obvious, but you have the cards. Like, it's not as if you don't. You have the pieces. It just needs to click on that given game week to where it just all works out for you. And, you know, we have a few more weeks now of EPL and whatever to try and make that right. And that's all you can do, isn't it? Like, we can't really do too much more than that. So, yeah. Shaforical, we're going to get it right, mate. We're going to get it right. We are going to move over to RTG Poor Man's Edition, which is Mark. Mark, if you are in here, mate, what's going on? Goal is to get into rare level as well as picking up a couple more players from my limited, but main focus is rare ATM. Just any advice in general would be 100% appreciated, as I have been on Sorare for quite a while and only started getting into winning rewards and boxes. Interesting. Well, I'm buzzing that you are winning stuff, mate. That's amazing. That's obviously the feeling we all want to feel. Just seeing you getting into a few rares from McMath, not bad. Love to see it. Busquets, Shuffleberg. So you got into a little MLS situation there. I definitely think, like we've already mentioned, get yourself a nice little smasher midfielder, an Evander, a Rusnak, a Santi, Hector Herrera. If you can really, pop yourself into that category, then you're really going to be able to win, potentially win more, at that rare level in MLS. Busquets is fine on his day, can walk to a 60, but you are going to need those 80, 90, 100s to really get involved. And yeah, that's kind of where I'd be at with your rare stuff. I just want to see what your split is. So what is the split looking like? So we've got, sorry, I'm being stupid here. So 240 pounds worth of rares. So you got the Naseka stack. Nasaxa, however you pronounce it. Neck-axa, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm rubbish with my pronunciations. Lads, don't come for me. Oh, nice. All my outfielders are starting in my Challenger Classic Rare Division 2 team. But watch Alex McCarthy, DMP. Bound to happen, isn't it? It's bound to happen. Anyone have the Southampton lineups already, by the way? But yeah, obviously you've got some contender boys, but mainly... Sneezed again, lad, sorry. But mainly challengers, obviously MLS based. I would definitely look to add a forward and another mid in there, 100% if you can, at some point. But mate, if you're winning at limited, like if you're winning, continue doing that. Like don't... Yeah, is how I would look at that. Mr. Midweek is going to strike again. I don't think so, Ian. It depends. I don't know. McCarthy needs to start. I don't think he's going to. Maybe he does. How do you get on the list to be reviewed? You need to become a channel member. Warno. So to become, you need to be a YouTube channel member. It's £1 a week. You get your lineups built every week, and you get a monthly gallery review, and you get involved in the members stream, the members Discord as well. Kennedy said, don't get frustrated, mate. I hadn't won anything over a T3 in 3 weeks. This week I hit a Tier 1 in Champ Classic. It all comes in waves. Can't get too high, can't get too low. 100% Kennedy. You've hit the nail on the head there, mate. You really, really have. So yeah, Mark, let me know, how that sounds, and we can get cracking. Sorry if I am, rushing these last few lads. I only got 1, 2, 3. We only got 3 left. We'll be fine. I just want to get, ready for the reward stuff later, but that's fine. We've got 15 minutes. Okay, Kennedy, the main man. The Kennedy curse. I'd like to really build out Prem, Bundesliga, La Liga. Prem, Bundesliga, La Liga. Classic, so I can field as many lineups across those as possible. We'll field Challenger as well, but top league will be priority. Makes sense. The plan is to farm rewards next season and either sell them or use them to add in, in-season items. In-season team, sorry. Which makes sense. I enjoy Classic more, so that will always be priority. Fair enough. I get that. A few questions I had. First off, do you think it's worth it for my gallery to pick up a Pickford, specifically for Euros? I think the only playing goalkeeper I have is Neuer and potentially Trubin, but I think Lunin will get the nod. I probably agree with that. And I basically have the best English stack you could have, minus Foden. So let me just answer that first. I mean, for most people, I don't think it's worth it. But if you already have the pieces, Kennedy, and Pickford's the only missing piece, then I'm not too against you doing that. I'm not... It's not a stupid thing to do. Pickford's going to be a Premier League goalkeeper for the next few years, easy. And so, yeah, if you've got the core, you've got your Saka, you've got Rice. Who else would you have? Saka, Rice, Trent. And then, yeah, Pickford. Well, yeah, will Trent start? I don't know. But regardless, you obviously have a really nice core. And you have Kane as well, don't you? Yeah, so you basically have the team. It's just, yeah, no Pickford. I think that's a good idea because, yeah, I think Lunin probably gets the nod. And then you have, like, Neuer and Pickford. And then second, thoughts on selling the likes of Boskagli, Alcanus with the moves impending? For this midweek, after this midweek, there's really only one smasher game left for them. I just worry Boskagli specifically falls off a cliff and gets a poor move. Guess I'm asking you if you think it's worth holding and hope he doesn't get a move. Okay, so with the Alcanus one, I think it looks like if he goes to Leipzig, I think he smashes personally. I would keep him, in my opinion. The Boskagli one's a bit more straightforward in that, like, I think you should probably get rid of Boskagli, in my opinion, in that, yeah, he could get that dreadful move. Whereas, with the under-23s, I think you could be patient with them. I think the likes of, let me just have a look at your challengers specifically, because this is where we're going to find out the men from the boys. So where have we got? Yeah, so MLS is fine. Paulinho is fine. João Neves, I think maybe gets a move, but maybe he does. But I think he'd be fine anyway. Silva maybe gets a move. But yeah, Boskagli, I mean, I know he's in season, so how much did he go for? Is it 200? Oh, we could actually look, can't we? It's never worth picking up any guy. Might be slightly biased. Charlie. Yeah, I could roll out Pickford, Trent, Jude. Oh, you have Jude, of course you do. Kane, Saka, yeah. Yeah, then in that case, I think it kind of makes sense, mate. It does. Where is new season? Yeah, new season's 200 quid. I mean, you've probably had your worth out of him, and you only paid 270 for him, Yeah, I think I'm going to ride out his utility and hope for one big reward with Boskagli and sell. Then PSV stack has been so good, it's going to be broken up big time. Yeah, it probably is, isn't it, in places. Goalkeeper probably stays. In a weird way, I really hope Teze stays. I know I'm biased because I own him, but like he's like PSV through and through. If they could get a massive fee for him, then obviously he'd have to move. But like, Bakayoko's going to move. That's just a fact. Boskagli probably moves, and so does Veerman. So yeah, your three main ones do probably move. They'll be left with bits, but yeah, they're not going to be as amazing as the stack ones was, and you obviously know that. I think no matter where Neves and Silva go, they'll be fine. I agree, mate, with that one. Apparently, yeah, I did see that. Lamut Charal, yeah, is looked at as the Alcanus replacement for Genk. I did see that. Genk are quite like that. They do like, bringing in players that are in the same league to replace, players going out type of thing. I think that does kind of make a lot of sense. But yeah, I'd probably keep Alcanus, isn't it? But I would probably, yeah, try and squeeze out one more Boskagli smash, or however many more, two more, whatever, and probably call it a day there. But yeah, I would pick up the Pickford. I know Charlie doesn't want that to happen, but I think it makes sense with your gallery, mate. Okay, Ian, I need to condense my gallery for next season. I love Riker, but out with that, I'm not overly bought into any other collections. Since the last review, I picked up a summer team, great, and also have Kavlina to play for under 23 next season, along with Tangsvik. Should I look to be clearing out now and start prepping for next season, or play it out and do it in the summer? Going forward, will be 3 classic contenders and 2 under 23, ideally until I can get into in season, probably around December once prices flat out. I mean, look, it's obviously fun to play for the last couple of games, but if it's a and/or, as in like you can only do one or the other, you're going to get more money for the players you're selling now than you will in the summer, right? That's just a fact. And so, I do think if you want more buying power in the summer, you probably want to try and sell those cards now, like as far as the clear out goes. I know it's not as fun. You might not have as good of lineups, for the next few weeks or whatever. But that's kind of my feeling on that one, Ian. And then, what is this one? Yeah, so you got Cavaliers. So you got 2 really good goalies for next season under 23. But yeah, I definitely think the prep starts now, in my opinion. Start moving pieces now where they do still have a bit of utility, and that's the carrot for people to continue to buy those cards, right? Whereas in the summer, it's going to be tough to move things for the price you want. And then like the players you're bringing in, you just got less buying power. Simple as, right? And then, like you said, probably get into in season around December when you have 6 or so months left. I think that's probably a good time frame. I really do. Just catching up on the chat. Yeah, I think Birky stays. It's a fun one to watch. Thank you, my friend. I've got to go get a shower in before rewards, and I'll so much love. See you soon. All the best, Kennedy. I really do appreciate you, mate. Genuinely. Ian, I hope that makes sense, mate. I know I've kind of rushed that a little bit, but that's my opinion. I would try and sell off as not as quickly as you can everything, but definitely a good amount. Okay, and we are one before our last one because we do need to do David Taylor as well. We've got Sorare, who is our latest member. Sorare, welcome. I really do appreciate you being here. So I'm not sure where I should prioritize based on what you see. Where would you recommend me putting my focus? Username is Sorare. So as a question, I think that will be a bit more apparent, like week by week with the lineup building. But I am going to obviously look through what you've got going on right now. So you've got bits of challenger, bits of contender. What I'm seeing up there with goalkeepers, they're your most expensive cards. Angel Romero, you've got Brazil, you've got more J-League, bits of Argentina, more bits of Argentina, I think. Galatasaray, Alvarado's in contender, POV contender, nice. I have myself a POV as well. Bits of MLS, yeah, I mean, let me have a look down here. Let me have a look at what you've got. Because ultimately, if you have rare cards, you're probably going to, that's where your bigger wins are going to come from. I just want to have a look at what you've exactly got at MLS level at rare. We can take it from there. Ian, what's going on, mate? Yeah, I've got a couple of teams to play over the summer, so I think getting rid of... Yeah, I think you got it, mate. Like, that, you're going to get your most buying power now. That's kind of how that's going to work. But yeah, no worries at all, mate. I'm just buzzing you back in the member section. It's not loading. Oh, here we go. We're back. Oh yeah, let me check. Let me just check one thing. I just want to see if Southampton lineup's out. No, not out yet. Okay. Not out yet. That's fine. Oh yeah, I just wanted to see. So it was League, MLS. Like, I want to see if your MLS rare team is good enough to play. Is there a point in having it in that sense? So you have Steve Clark, fine, good goalkeeper. And then outside of that, I know Fafa's injured, but he is actually a decent card if he is fit. I think Ladero's fine, but he basically a reserve player, like a benchy player at this point. He doesn't start every game, does he? But when he plays, he is good. I'm not denying that. But I definitely think if you want to continue playing up this MLS contingency, you do need a few midfielders, I would say. I definitely think... Oh, so Boyd, yeah. So you're Boyd, sorry. I definitely feel like I'm a bit too spread out. Maybe. Yeah, you could probably argue you are in some ways. As far as rares go, focus on being good in one place, i.e. contenders or challenger. Don't spread yourself over both if you're not winning in either. That's kind of my, what I would say there. You have a few good contender cards, right? And it's easy to pick them up because they're a bit cheaper, fine. But I think, let's just argue that you do like MLS more than anything else. It could be worth just sacking off all your contenders and just going really hard in MLS. And, at the end of the day, quality wins things on this game. Not quantity, if we're being honest. And so, in this situation, you have a decent base of MLS cards. I would look to try and sell off a few contenders, in my opinion, and go stronger in MLS. Give yourself an actual chance of winning things. When players are all fit and stuff. That's kind of where I'm at with the rare side of your gallery in that sense. But it all depends on what you have most fun doing, obviously. But at the end of the day, everyone wants to win. If you want to increase your chances of winning, you're going to need to get better MLS cards there, in my opinion. I like your ratio, though. Double the amount of gallery value than limited. That seems like a nice little ratio to me. Obviously, you've got a nice little Barca collection there. That's fun. I definitely think you should keep hold of that. And a few other cards involved there. A few basketball cards and whatever. But as far as rares go, mate, genuinely, I do think it could be a case of maybe coming out of contenders. Not fully, just a bit. Just draw back a little bit. Like, do you need 4 or 5 keepers in contenders compared to 1 or whatever you've got in challenges? You know what I mean? That's kind of how I'm looking at that off the bat. So yeah, hope that makes sense, mate. Any more questions? Obviously, you're in the Discord now. Message me, and we can kind of get cracking with that, mate. But I am going to move over to Donny 19's gallery, which is the last gallery review we're going to be doing. I have got a video to film now in a couple of minutes. It doesn't matter if I go over, but you know, I do have a few rewards to open, which will be quite fun. But that'll be a video, lads. If you can go and give that when that is out, that should be out in like an hour, maybe a bit less if I'm fast editing. Please go give it some love. Go give it a comment and watch it all for me, please. Even if I do clickbait a little bit. Nah, I'm joking. I don't clickbait. Why would I ever do that? No, okay. David Taylor didn't give us exact instructions, but it was more like, you know, where are my gaps situation. And so we're going to have a little look at what's going on here. So David has 84. David is like a strictly super rare player. Mainly Premier League, but does have quite a few bits elsewhere as well. I've seen recently you have been picking up some really nice cards. So you've got two definite starters there, haven't you? As far as, you know, goalkeepers go, potentially a few more, maybe. If Rodak gets a gig somewhere, Steele maybe leaves Brighton. Who knows? I don't really see it, though. Defenders, I mean, you got Shah. Ajay's been actually really good. Nice little reward, that is. Digne on his day could be quite tasty. We've got Joachim Anderson, who's been pretty good. Ben Davis. Dunk's definitely the standout here. I know you have the Bournemouth boys, which can be pretty good on certain game weeks. Sorry, I'm just... Ooh. Fitz subbed off in the 64th minute. Interesting. But yeah, as far as defenders go, I would say, like, you have quite a few defenders. You have depth. Like, outside of Dunk, though, like, I'm not looking here and being like, oh, I can trust this guy every week, you know? I definitely think there's probably a defender there that could be, like, condensed. Like, you could condense 3 or 4 of them into, like, a good defender, like a really good defender, to go alongside Dunk. Midfielders, honestly, I'm really impressed with the midfielder depth. Caicedo, Basuma, Paqueta, Sangare, potentially, if he gets better at some point. You've got 3 or 4, Højbjerg. You've got 3 or 4 good players here that can get behind Tavernier, Eriksson, if he decides to play football again. Like, there's more depth there for me of, like, good midfielders than there is defenders, in my opinion. Forwards, I think you're probably strongest at forward, honestly. Gordon, Bowen, Solanke, Maupe, Sinistera, Larson, Diaz. I'd argue your forwards are probably your strongest. I'd probably say forwards, mid, and then I'd argue defenders are probably your weakest, which, you know, could get improved somehow. And then challengers, what we got in challengers? We got Rulli, really nice, and we got Wallison, who's been great. So 2 really good goalkeepers there. Obviously, lots of championship boys, which, you know, could move in situations, and like if Leeds go up, that's obviously a tricky one for Rodon. So I'd definitely say if you are planning on playing challenges, again, defenders, I would say, you know, stick out there to me. Arnaus, they're fine. Like to me here, Shiva's a really nice card. I'd potentially like looked. I don't know whether you're thinking about it, but like I'd maybe go all in on Prem and maybe really condense challenges potentially. Just a little thought. So you still have the Yanez. Yeah, so you only just have Yanez now, do you? Wow. Interesting. So you sold out all the other ones. Okay. Yeah, what's your thoughts, David? Like, are you done with, like, are you happy just to play champ? Because I think that could be, like, you have an amazing core of goalkeepers for challenges, don't get me wrong, if you are looking to continue playing that. But, you know, those funds could do pretty well, I think, in Premier League where you're strongest, you know, and you're just doubling down then on like what Mike's doing with, you know, champ and Prem or whatever. Obviously, you can go Bundes or La Liga, but I do think I would look into doing that, mate. I really would. Yeah, let me know how that sounds. Sorry, I'm gonna have a look quickly at the Southampton lineup. Please be McCarthy. Yes, McCarthy starts, lads. We needed that. That is a big one. That is a big one. Oh, Chelsea lineup's out. Enzo starts. Badiashile starts. That is so annoying. Didn't play my Badiashile. Play sharper at it again. Not thinking Badiashile's the boy. Alfie Gilchrist starting, by the way, which is mad. But yeah, lads, that's been an absolute pleasure. I am going to go and film my rewards video that's going to be out in the next 30, 40 minutes. Honestly, I can't thank all of you enough for being here for so long. There's still 42 of you here. 3 hours 15 in. It's been an absolute marathon. But I've loved every second of it, genuinely. So please do give it a like if you haven't already. And yeah, lads, honestly, I appreciate you all so much. No Chalobah. No way. That's gutting, Drake. I'm gutted. I didn't even think about that, genuinely. Sorry, mate. I really do. But yeah, there'll be a video out later. I'll be live tomorrow with Laird. And yeah, lads, please do give the video later a bit of love. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. Ian, absolute pleasure, mate. Thank you for popping in. And yeah, give me some good luck, lads. I've got a tier 3 super rare to open, tier 5 rare, and a couple of boxes. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And I'll catch you guys very, very soon.